Welcome inside the Big Barn here in Billings, Montana. First Interstate Arena, TDS Fiber Field, and another exciting night of arena football with the Billings Outlaws tonight playing host to the Washington Wolfpack. Welcome inside. We've got an exciting game ahead. Jay Cohn to do your play-by-play with you tonight, along with Bobby Beers, our longtime color announcer. Bobby, of course, with indoor football experience dating all the way back to the Colorado Crush. Bobby, nice to have you back.
Appreciate it.
This looks like a lopsided contest on paper, but we'll see which teams come to play tonight.
They already played once this year. Billings came out on top of that one, but it was, it's the lowest amount of points that Billings has scored this year. Billings, of course, has to bounce back, see if they can overcome a heartbreaking loss last week to the Nashville Cats. But, Jay, it's an exciting night of football in Billings. Lots of football in Billings tonight, huh, Jay?
Absolutely. We got the East-West All-Star game going on over at Dallas Stadium, the high school stars from around the state. There you see Carrance Higgins, Billings Outlaws, who hurt his knee in the game last week against Nashville. He will be out. We'll find out a little bit more in the coming week. He has a lower leg injury, but he's a huge set of shoes to fill, Bobby.
Yeah, lots to overcome.
A dozen touchdowns he had in the first 6 games.
That's a big missing piece for this Billings squad. Not only do they have to bounce back emotionally from that last-second loss, really a last-second loss, but the loss of Carrance is going to be huge, and refining the replacement. Really, it's a next man up sport in football, but he's a big piece to replace right there.
On the other side, you see number 9, Deshaun Williams. He's a big body wide receiver for the Washington Wolfpack. The question with the Washington team, who will be at their quarterback slot tonight? They just a day ago signed quarterback DeAndre Burrell, a Utah State grad from way back when. Second all-time leading passer in Aggie history. He spent time in the NFL, most recently also in the AFL with the Arizona Rattlers. And we'll see. We're expecting to see DeAndre Burrell at the quarterback slot for Washington, maybe in the second quarter, but they're going to start with JT Tease, who will be behind center, take the original snap. So the Wolfpack come in, Bobby, just 1-5. The Outlaws on the opposite side, 5-1. But again, how will they rebound to that virtual last-second loss to the Nashville Cats last weekend when they lost 57-54? We shall see. And the kicker here.
Yeah, got to mention the kicker, Melissa Strother.
She's the only female to ever play and score in the Arena Football League in over 3 decades.
Yes, 30 years of arena football, and Melissa's the first female to put points on the board. She's going to get us started here, Jay. A little exciting night of football here in Billings.
And we are underway. Little squib kick, good strategy. Picked up by Swoboda across the 15, into the open field at the 25, still on his feet, inside the 15, and look at Hunter Swoboda. You can see why he's the leading rusher in the league. Oh, my bad, that was Dwayne Brown. Well, he's right behind Swoboda in the rushing department.
Either way, 3 picks it up, finds a hole, nice cut right there, takes it down, makes Strother fall down on her own, and then a lot of Washington Wolfpackians drugged down inside the 10-yard line. Great starting position for this Billings offense.
Dwayne Brown, wide receiver, 5'11", 205. It was Swoboda leading the blocking for him on that. And Swoboda will be right behind quarterback Isaac Harker as the Outlaws start with great field position at the 9-yard line. Harker right across the middle. It's complete, and that's Dwayne Brown again, down inside the 3.
Well, Harker's had a great season so far. Picks up right where he always leaves off. Mr. Consistent right there behind center. And Brown trying to get him into the end zone, looking to him quick. Just a real quick slant play. Harker fires it out of there, that quick release. And in there on the tackle is a former Montana Grizz, J.R. Nelson, back in the Treasure State.
Had a chance to talk to J.R. He's excited to be extending his football career. Played with the Grizz from 2016 to 2001 during the Bob Stitt era. We'll hear more about him. But here is Swoboda behind Isaac Harker. Dwayne Brown split off here to the near side along with Dallas Dixon. Let's see who Harker likes. That's Dixon that goes in motion. He'll get the handoff. Caught at the 5. And the Wolfpack are there to stop him right at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, host of Wolfpack right there to not let that run game go anywhere. Billings, looking for some answers. It gets to the field, gets really, really tight inside here. So Billings, quick slant early, running the ball right there. 3rd down and goal here. Outlaws trying to get on the board early.
Dallas Dixon, number 7, one of 3 Central Michigan Chippewas on the Outlaws roster this year.
Yeah, Jay, we talked about the Montana tie-in with Central Michigan. Jim McElwain, a Missoula product, head coach there now.
There goes Dixon in motion. Harker's going to pitch it to Swoboda, and he gets upended. Nice tackle that time by Micaiah Lee out of Western Oregon, number 6. Got underneath Swoboda, brought him down.
Nice job by Lee right there. Just shooting the gap, sees the run play, comes up from his defensive back position, makes a play there, holds Billings out of the end zone here. So it brings up a 4th down play early on in this game. See if this Wolfpack can come up with a big goal line stand here, keeping Billings off the board.
So Dwayne Brown returned the opening kickoff all the way down inside the 10, but Billings has been stymied from there. Right now it's 4th and goal, ball at the 2-yard line. Here goes Harker, drops back, throws it, nearly picked off.
Lee again.
Micaiah Lee.
Just ran that. We got a flag on the field.
Let's check the flag. That was intended for Dallas Dixon.
Anderson just running, or that's not Anderson, I'm sorry. That's Dallas Dixon running across there, but Lee able to close right there.
There's no penalty for illegal blitz. The results of the play, incomplete pass, first down.
All right.
So Wolfpack come up with a big stop inside the 5, bring out their offense, and Jay, you alluded to it. They're a little bit of indecision at quarterback. They have the new addition this week.
DeAndre Burrell.
And with Burrell, you're right, but they're going to march out JT Taasi, who's been their starter, and they're under center. That's something you don't see much in the indoor game.
And Taasi sends a man in motion. And in the end zone, that looks, well, let's see if they say he had forward progress out across the
They're going to mark it at the 1. He lost a yard.
That give that time to number 45, Brian Sarnowski, the big fullback, but he was unable to get on track, so that's
lost a yard.
Back inside the 1. J.T. Taase out of Central Washington. He also played wide receiver in college, so he's played on both those positions. Pass intended over the middle, broken up. That's Jason Armstrong, defensive back for the Outlaws. He's got his big hand in there.
Yeah, Armstrong does a nice job posting up right there. Big long arms on the hitch route, just comes over the top, locks the ball down, brings up long 3rd down here for Washington. Armstrong did a great job right there, not making contact with the receiver, affected him in any way, just making a play on the ball. Really good defensive back play there for the Outlaws.
Big number 9, like the tight end, Deshaun Williams. He's got a big body. We saw that time where the Outlaws were able to knock it away. So here it is, 3rd and 11, ball inside the 1. Piasse drops straight back, gets some pressure, and now he's going to be tackled in the end zone for a safety.
Laquan Johnson Jr. coming off the edge hot.
Another Central Michigan product.
Wins with speed right there and able to track down to Ossie in the end zone. Got ourselves 2 points, Outlaws fans. So Billings couldn't find the end zone on offense, able to find it on defense and scores, well, just a quick 2 points, easy safety for the Billings Outlaws.
And that's been one of the strong suits of this Billings Outlaws team, Bobby, is the defensive play. They've scored several defensive touchdowns, safeties.
Not only that, but they're holding opponents. They've got the fewest points scored against them in the entire Arena League this year, Jay. So we talk about the offensive prowess of this Billings team, the stability that they have at quarterback, but this defense really has shown to be a real strong point of this entire Outlaws organization.
Well, the scouting report on the Washington Wolfpack coming in said the offense has been inconsistent and the defense has been on the field too much. And Tease's been under pressure and he has no time. And we saw that in their opening possession as he gets sacked for a safety by Laquan Johnson Jr.
Lots of equations to figure out up front for this Wolfpack. During the season, it has continued into their first possession here. And we get to see the kicker again, Miss Strother.
Yeah, Melissa Strother.
Squibbed it the first time around.
Arthur Anderson along with Dwayne Brown deep for the Outlaws. The ball's going to catch up, and this is Anderson with the ball at the 10. Has a wide open field, breaks a tackle across midfield down to the 22-yard line. And the tackle made there by Caleb Brown, who played his college ball at Idaho State.
Well, you're going to see a lot of the Northwest names on this Washington thing. We talked to Coach J.R. Wells, before the game, and there's a lot of guys that are new to the arena football game. They're bringing the outside game indoors, so there's a little bit of an adjustment there. But Anderson right there, the return game for this Billings Outlaws team, I think it's just pin your ears back and go forward as fast as you can, because both those guys returned it hard and downhill quick.
All right, Derek Harvey, your split out wide receiver. Now he goes in motion. Again, Isaac Harker, the quarterback. Colorado School of Mines, where he did his college career.
Won a lot of games there as Dallas Dixon comes down with the Harker pass. Nice quick hitch, good safe pass right there. Harker's done a nice job all season commanding this offense.
Isaac Harker is 28 years old, and I mentioned it before, but I love it. He has a master's in econometrics, which just means a lot of math. He also played in the Canadian Football League, most recently with the BC Lions in 2022 and with the Saskatchewan in 2019.
The Colorado School of Mines isn't an easy one to get into.
That's true. Here goes Derek Harvey in motion. Harker looking for a Harvey in the end zone. Touchdown. What a catch. Derek Harvey hauls it in by one hand.
Just puts that right hand out there, able to tip it to himself and catches it off the wall. Oh, we got a flag on the field, Jay.
Illegal twist on the defense.
Here we go. That's going to count.
That penalty has been declined. Results in a touchdown.
So Isaac Harker finds Derek Harvey in the end zone. Caleb Brown was there defensively, but just a little bit. That was just an awesome one-handed catch, and it wasn't like Harvey was wide open. The defender was right there.
Harker, he wasn't Harker's first read either. You see right here, Harker pulls it down, wants to go down early, comes back to Harvey. He just sticks that right mid out there, tips it to himself, runs into the wall. We got 6 points on the board.
Great camera work. And Bailey Giffen, the outstanding kicker for the Outlaws, splits the uprights.
Timeout.
And
Media.
there you have it.
First media timeout
quick
of the game.
9-0 lead by the Outlaws, courtesy of a safety, and then courtesy of an Isaac Harker to Derek Harvey touchdown pass. Here's some of the stats. And when I talk about the statistics in this league, they're a little hit and miss.
Yeah, exactly. There's been a little bit of
disruption.
Exactly. We'll just call it disruption. But with some of the inconsistencies that you're going to find in stats, Billings has really done a nice job of being consistent in the effort and the output that they've had on both sides of the ball. Go ahead with your stats.
So I was just saying, Isaac Harker has completed 66% of his passes, only 2 interceptions. So that's pretty good. He's 65 of 98. He's thrown for 23 touchdowns, looks like 24. Keep in mind these statistics, they may not be all the games. It looked like there were 5 games, and the Outlaws have played 6 games, but at any rate, we do have some statistics, and we can tell you he's completing 63% of his passes.
They had one game that was an exhibition.
Yeah, and a very, very heady player with only 2 interceptions and over almost 100 pass attempts. That's a pretty good percentage.
He's done a great job being very consistent, not taking chances with the ball. One of the things that really has separated Billings all year is their consistent play up front. Their offensive line has allowed Harker to buy a little bit extra time. He's not your athletic quarterback that you see a lot in arena ball running around making plays. He stays back there, goes through his progressions really, really quickly, and then just throws up, and these guys are making plays. So Billings, the recipe they have for winning football is working right now. So, I know they came up short last week and they're looking for some answers this week, but they don't have to make too many adjustments, as that game with Nashville really was last play of the game in the end zone for a loss, for their first loss of the season, but they're still in good standings here in the Arena League.
And we'd like to thank Dan Dragon and Charlie Klepp for filling in on the broadcast while I was gone, and Bobby was down fishing off the coast of Cancun. But at any rate, they both said, here, we missed one game, and they have like a barn burner that's decided in the last second. Most of our games have been blowouts, so we'll see how it goes here. So Bailey Giffen will kick off. Will he get a deuce? Here it is, off the rebound net. That's a live ball with it coming out of him. That's Xavier Crawford, and he just barely got out of the end zone.
Well, who initiated the tackle right there? It was special teams ace Dwayne Brown that undercuts him. But right after that, not far behind, is Jason Armstrong to finish him off. Watch this, Brown underneath. Armstrong finishes him off. That's right out of the WWE, which I believe the Metra-Park has hosted in the past.
That was an awesome play. little teamwork. One guy takes him down low, and the other guy waits for him, just punish him into the...
Well, Coach Cedric Walker's got to be happy with the response early from his Billings Outlaws. A little bit of a hiccup on offense, but his defense is rallying to the ball very nicely early on here tonight.
Here comes JT Tiase again under center. JT's handled most of the quarterback duties so far. Here's the quick pass out to the far side. Deshaun Williams has it. Gets a quick 2-3 yards out to the 4-yard line.
Yeah, Deshaun Williams, big body dude. They say he's 6'3", 205, but he's all of 220 pounds there, Jay. We saw him before the game. He's a good-looking athlete. He's the type of guy you want getting off the plane or the bus, depending on how you travel here. You want him off first.
Williams was on the Seahawks. He was drafted by the Seahawks, got on their practice squad for a while, played for the University of Washington Huskies, and before that, Colorado State Pueblo. So got extending his college career now with a little indoor pro football. Here's a quick pass. Tiase finds J.R. Nelson, the former Grizzly.
Nelson does a nice job finding the sticks right there, able to move and get a second set of downs, get a little breathing room away from the their own end zone there. You see the chains crew there working real hard.
J.R. Nelson, number 21, 6'1", 190. He's out of Hillsboro, Oregon. Played for the Grizz from 2016 to 2021. All right, in motion. Man, off the fingertips of Deshaun Williams as he did that, cutting across the middle, a little too high. Goes incomplete.
Osley just got rid of that one. Little extra out there. Had Novak coming underneath, running a quick out, and then they had Williams running behind him. Osley just overthrew him a little bit there. Good coverage there by Billings.
Tiase played high school for Ballard High School in Washington and played wide receiver for the West Sound Rebels, a semi-pro team for many years, 2022-23. Now he's just going to have to throw that out. Penalty flags fly. Pressure that time by Siasi Finau for the Outlaws.
Yeah, Finau just saw him escape the pocket and came vertical, putting pressure on Tiase, and he just had to throw the ball away.
Holding on the defense, number 21, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
Well, that one goes against the Outlaws.
And I think he was holding Nelson, who's also 21. So Armstrong holding Nelson. Gets another first down for Washington here.
So the Wolfpack with their second consecutive first down in this possession. They are trailing 9-0 after giving up a early safety and then a touchdown. The Outlaws have the early lead here, but the Wolfpack trying to get things untracked offensively. Tiase drops straight back, intended for Nelson. Defense there by Isaiah McFarland for the Outlaws.
Yeah, Nelson just running the shallow crosser. Tiase checks it down, just not able to hold on. We had McFarland right there on the spot, able to knock Nelson off his feet. So second down here for the Wolfpack.
We should mention that the Iron Man rules are no longer in effect here in the AFL, so they're able to do as much substitution as they want. They shelved that Iron Man approach shortly after the league decided they were in trouble. And there's a pass to Deshaun Williams, breaks the tackle and goes in for the score.
And now you see the benefit of being a big human being. He just catches that. The defender over there misses the tackle, and Williams off to the races. Big men that can move are in short supply, but in professional football, they are a commodity that is absolutely worth their weight in gold.
Using that size advantage, Deshaun Williams puts the Wolfpack on the board. So here comes Melissa Strother to try the extra point. She's got quite the story herself. Melissa played 13 years in women's football. Played for the California Quake. And the kick is blocked. Picked up. So the extra point is no good. Special teams play always important here in the indoor game.
Timeout, media.
So Strother that time unable to get the extra point. That
You
was
see
against
Williams right there.
Cedric Thomas.
Williams right there, able to haul that ball in. Escaping there for a touchdown for the Wolfpack.
9-6 here in the first quarter. You're watching live Arena Football League action from TDS Fiber Field, Metra-Park. We call it the Big Barn here in Billings. And you can see some of the activity for the fans here.
It's a great thing about arena football is the fan. It's much more inclusive for the fans. As you watch a dad here on Father's Day weekend, Jay, and I want to wish all the dads out there, both of us are fathers, know how important our families are to us, but wishing all the fathers a happy Father's Day this weekend. Lots of sporting events. As we watch the second try here. Oh, denied. But happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there watching with their families. Let's see what happens to the consolation prizes. I guess just a wave to the fans, Jay.
I'll tell you, every time I think of Metra-Park and Father's Day, I have to think of the Father's Day tornado.
Oh my gosh,
in 2010
yes.
That ripped this building apart, took the roof right off it, and we're so fortunate nobody died in that, but here we are back. Most people in Billings will recall the video of the pickup truck being blown around here on the floor of the Metra while the tornado ripped the roof off this building. That was in June 20th, 2010, the famous Father's Day tornado that struck the Metra here in Billings.
Well, I mean, the video from that was pretty exciting because somebody's driving by the Metra watching the tornado on top of it. I mean, Montana tough is sometimes mixed up with Montana crazy, Jay. As we saw Antonio
Right.
Smiley get his big arm out there to block the Strother extra point, and then chaos ensued. No points after for the Wolfpack, so we're here 9-6 in the first quarter, 3:57 left.
Melissa Strother kicks it deep into the end zone off the board. That's a live ball. Here comes Dwayne Brown with it, looking for some blocks, breaks into the open, has a man, no, he breaks into the 15, across midfield, down inside, stays on his feet, and that is a 50-yard touchdown pass. We have a penalty flag down, or a touchdown run, excuse me. What an effort by Dwayne Brown.
Dwayne Brown, hard man to bring down right there. Broke a couple of open field tackles, made some people miss. Washington Wolfpack had a guy right on his tail, bringing him
Block
down.
on the back during the return, number 44, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Well, it's coming back, and you can tell by the crowd reaction, Jay, they're not happy about it, but great individual effort.
Let's watch it here. It'll be
Breaks
against
that first
44.
tackle right there.
Well, it looks like
It was
against
right there. And, I mean, you could say questionable or not, but you can't take away from the effort as Brown breaks that tackle. Should have been down there, gets tripped up and hauled down in the end zone. All for naught, though, as Billings takes over 1st and 10 from the 8-yard line. What a great effort. He's done a great job returning kicks early on here. Almost had one on a slant pass in the first play of the game offensively.
They said it was a block in the back against Finau, but at any rate, that backs the Outlaws up. They're at their own 7 now. There goes Brown in motion again. Harker tries a quick outlet pass to the side to Dallas Dixon, but short defense there by Armand Childs. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Now, Harker looked like he was just getting rid of that ball. Maybe his guy has a chance, just throwing it into the boards right there. Smart play. Well, I'll tell you what, both of these teams have some big offensive tackles.
Yes, sir.
You're going to see over there number 55, McLean DeHova, is 6'7", 319. And his counterpart, should something break out, Dominic Moore is all of that for those Washington Wolfpack. They got a couple of guys on this field today that stand out no matter where they're at in public.
All right, so here's Arthur Anderson, the 4th, in motion. And a pass across the middle to Dwayne Brown, Dallas Dixon rather. Dixon is loose across the 25, in down to the 23.
Dixon just came out of the left side of that offensive formation. Scott-free. Harker able to identify that quick. He sees him right now. One pump, just flips the ball to him, and he's off to the races right there.
You have to be impressed with Isaac Harker, the quarterback's quick decision making. He takes a couple looks. He doesn't have too much time to go through that progression, but
he goes
more
through
often
his
than not
reads
finds
very,
a
very
man that's
fast.
open. Yeah, you bet. All right, big number 99, Blake Mitchell, in as the fullback behind Harker, and he's going to get the pitch. He's a big boy, but up to the task. The tackle made by Tank Brewster. So we got Tank against Mitchell, a couple of tanks.
Yeah, well, Tank, and we were directed this very, very adamantly. That's his given name. He was born with. That's on his birth certificate. So Tank, not a nickname, Tank Brewster right there from his linebacker spot comes out and runs down big 99 Blake Mitchell. And Blake is just listed as an offensive or defensive lineman, and like Jay was saying, no Iron Man rules anymore. So he got his offensive touch for the night so far, but actually lost a yard right there.
You mentioned big number 55, McLean Jua, with the Outlaws, 6'7", 319. On the opposite side, Don Moore, he's equally that tall. Harker quickly back to pass, looking deep. Looks and finds for the touchdown, Derek Harvey.
Harvey streaking down, runs a corner route. Harker, very accurate passer, just has a great arm for the Arena League. I mean, he knows where that guy's going to be the whole time, delivers that. And then I'll tell you what, Derek Harvey does a great job with his hands. All of our young perimeter players right here. Watch Harvey's hands right here as Harker finds him, takes a pause, throws it into the corner. He goes up, reach and plucks that. Ball's a little bit behind him. Doesn't matter. Harvey goes up, grabs the ball. 6 points, Billings. And this Billings offense back on track early here after an early stumble, being held out of the end zone by the Wolfpack. They're up 15-6, pending this one by Giffen.
Bailey Giffen. Off the upright. 9 feet across to split those uprights, and that was a little tight. End of the first quarter comes, and the Outlaws lead the Wolfpack 15-6 here at TDS Fiber Field, First Interstate Arena here in Billings, Montana. You're watching Arena Football. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Arena Football League action here on a Saturday night in Billings, Montana. Jay Cohn along with Bobby Beers. Thanks so much for joining us. It's the 5-1 Outlaws against the 1-5 Washington Wolfpack. Bobby mentioned earlier these two teams played back in early May, and it was the Wolfpack falling in that one. Billings had the upper hand 49-12 in that first meeting. We'll see how they stack up here about a month later.
We see a quick meeting in the stands trying to figure out what we're going to get from the concession stand as Giffen gets ready to kick us off here in the second quarter.
Xavier Crawford back deep along with Vincent Wilkerson. It's going to go off the boards, and that'll be Crawford in the end zone. Crosses the end zone stripe and gets out to the 4-yard line where he actually lost his footing trying to avoid a hit. So the Wolfpack will put it in play up their own 4-yard line, trailing here 15-6 as we start the second quarter of action.
That's a tough thing to do, field that ball off the net. Crawford does a great job just smothering that thing and then getting out of the end zone, getting as much room as he possibly can. But Billings was down there swarming down around that end zone. Good coverage by Billings.
So the last time the Outlaws were on defense, it was Deshaun Williams who hauled in the pass from Tiase. Now Tiase stays in as the quarterback. Head coach J.R. Wells told us DeAndre Burrell might see some action, but right now they're sticking with Tiase, who had a pretty good first quarter. Here's Deshaun Williams with a quick out, hit into the boards, and that'll pay a pickup of about 5, maybe 6 yards.
Harvey was there to finish him off there at the end of the play, but you got a big dude like Mr. Williams right there. You got to call him Mr. because he's an intimidating dude in pads or out of pads, but that quick hitter, and Williams is a big target. It's a nice safety blanket for any quarterback, somebody that size catching the ball.
The Outlaws in the midst of a 3-game homestand. Those are rare.
Well, we got Albany Firebirds, 6-0 right now, leading the league, and right hot in their tails is this Billings team. See if they can come out of this one unscathed again tonight.
They'll be here next weekend. Albany will. Here's another pass. This one complete to Vincent Wilkinson. He's loose on the sidelines and crosses the midfield stripe down to the 23-yard line. Vince Wilkerson the second. He's out of Delta State, a native of Milwaukee.
Wilkerson does a nice job catching the ball and getting downfield, and Jason Armstrong has to get in chase and clean it up on the back end for Billings, but not before a Wolfpack first down. Just a quick hitch, and then he just gets north-south quicks, makes a guy miss right there.
Missed tackle.
And then Armstrong in chase,
Isaiah
able to put him into the boards.
It was number 8 against number 8.
The
Ocho.
Ocho.
It was Wilkerson that got the better of it. So
and Wilkerson's a big
down.
human too. They got a lot of good-sized wide receivers on this Washington ball club.
Piasse in the shotgun now. In motion, Williams.
Ball's on the ground, Jay.
And the Outlaws look like they have it, and they do. Blake Mitchell pounces on it at the 22-yard line.
Blake Mitchell didn't get any yardage carrying the ball, but when the ball's on the ground, Mitchell's right there to recover it. A little bit of confusion in the backfield with Washington, and a turnover. It's really costly as the snap was mishandled, and then you'll see Mitchell late just diving on the ball.
Yeah, Tiasse never got the handle, and by the time he looked up, the ball was on the ground, and it was a free-for-all. So another turnover. This one will go to the Outlaws, and they are set up in pretty good field position at the Washington 22-yard line.
Something like this happens. You like to say things in our position, Jay, like best field position of the night, but Billings' return game has allowed them some pretty good spots to start from as Harker and his Chargers start on the other side of the field.
Here goes Harker. He's going to pitch it to Swoboda. Hunter Swoboda, leading rusher. Penalty flag flies near the end of it as Swoboda got up near the 21-yard line, and the Wolfpack are pointing towards the Outlaws as they're the guilty party in this penalty.
Holding,
we'll see.
55 on the offense, 10 yards from the previous spot, stays first down.
That goes against McLean. Juha of the Outlaws.
We talked about Juha earlier, how big he is. This time his big, long arms get extended. He gets called for the hold there. Hunter Swoboda, he leads the league in rushing, Jay. Isn't that what you were telling me earlier?
Yep, he does. According to our stats, he has 35 attempts for 140 yards and 5 touchdowns.
He's a workhorse back there. The running game, most people in the league say it's non-existent. Hunter Swoboda would probably argue with you right there.
Yeah, I think Billings has some of the most rushing yards in the league. That pass complete from Harker.
Arthur Anderson right there on the quick hitch. Harker again with the accuracy. And Anderson able to get down. Looks like back to first the
right
initial
back
yard
started,
marker.
Absolutely.
So 2nd down and 9 for this Billings offense.
A late arriving crowd here at Metra-Park as the Outlaws hoping to start attracting a steady flow of faithful fans. Outlaws Nation has been a thing in Billings for a long time. This has been a challenging year both for the team and the fans as the schedule seems to change every other week. A pass from Harper, and that's another touchdown for Dwayne Brown.
Dwayne Brown finally gets his touchdown, almost gets it on the kickoff, gets another one where he gets hauled down in the end zone, and right there goes and makes a great athletic grab in the end zone. Able to adjust on the fly right there, catches the ball out away from his body for another touchdown for this Outlaws offense.
22-yard touchdown pass from Harker to Brown.
Little double move right there, streaking down the sidelines. Harker doesn't miss many guys that wide open. Dwayne Brown makes sure he doesn't at this time either. So
I'll tell you what, Harker is money when it comes to finding his open man. You mentioned it. He's only thrown 2 interceptions all year. So here's Bailey Giffen. See if he can make good on this extra point. He does. Splits the uprights, and that'll be another point for the Outlaws as they extend their lead 22-6. Well, just when it looked as if Washington was getting their offense on track, Bobby, that fumble by Tease set the Outlaws up perfectly to take advantage.
Yeah, turnovers kill you. It's a hard thing to overcome when you're a struggling ball club like that. The one thing that you can control usually is the ball, and don't take chances with it. And right there, a fumble's, especially on a snap, one of those things you practice so often you kind of take for granted. But I'll tell you what, Billings turned that around, even overcoming a holding call early in that possession and able to put it in the end zone, an all too familiar place for this Billings offense.
Well, we'll see what head coach J.R. Wells decides when they come back out on offense. If the Wolfpack will bring in DeAndre Burrell, who has quite a history both collegiately and in indoor football. He just signed 2 days ago by the Wolfpack. We'll see if number 15 will get a shot. Right now,
J.R. Wells was very excited to have that guy on his roster, just trying to get him kind of acclimated to, their offense. Number one, he's drinking through a fire hose trying to get everything, terminology and all that. But I think the guy's been around long enough. He can probably read things out pretty quick from that position just with his history.
Xavier Crawford back deep. Giffen kicks it deep. And there's the deuce.
The deuce.
Right to the uprights.
That's Jay's favorite play in indoor football right there, folks. Giffen leads the league in deuces.
The kickoff was kicked through the uprights. By rule, Billings will be awarded 2 points. Ball will be placed at the 5-yard line. First down, Washington.
He is a legitimate weapon.
He is. Now, I was just going to, you took the words right out of my mouth. We're becoming a pretty decent team, Jay. But Bailey Giffen, before the game, was routinely putting them into the uprights from back there on the line. That's a 60-yard field goal, Jay. He did it with ease. And, there's a couple things you got to overcome. Number one's the scoreboard in the middle of the arena. And then the ceiling isn't that far above that. And Giffen misses them both and puts it through for 2. Tease, a quarterback.
Yeah, Tease stays in, and he's going to go deep and overthrows his intended receiver there. That's Max Novak. And the penalty flags fly.
Yeah.
That looks like it'll be called against Cedric Thomas for the Outlaws.
Crawford right there. Crawford was his intended receiver, and Novak just...
There was no reason for that. The ball was way overthrown. When are they going to pick it up? Maybe an uncatchable pass.
Holding. Number 4 on the defense, 10-yard penalty. It's automatic first down.
They're not going to call pass interference. They'll call holding.
So that goes against Cedric Thomas.
Still moves the change. Penalty on Billings. Tease just takes a shot. Never a bad idea right there. And, I got to think that if Cedric Thomas had his hips turned and was running with him, that's probably a no call. Although he wasn't turned around, does impede the receiver's progress. Holding call, first down, Wolfpack.
And there goes Deshaun Williams in motion now. Tease, he's going to fake the handoff and keep it. Across the 15, breaks the tackle, and into the boards. He'll be out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. So a little mix it up. Let's see if they can handle a rushing quarterback.
Well, he does a nice job here of making a guy miss. There's a defensive back comes up here. It's Jason Armstrong, misses him once, and then he's in pursuit. Misses him again right there. And Tease showing some of that wide receiver background you talked about earlier, Jay. Moves the down marker a little bit. Good pickup on first down. Brings up 2nd and 4. Not a bad option to have a mobile quarterback in this game. Some offenses revolve around that. Billings isn't that way, but Washington right there showing a little bit of juice there on offense early on here in the second quarter.
You see the score, 24-6. The Outlaws just got another 2 points from Bailey Giffen kicking off through the uprights for a deuce. Here's Tease looking, scrambles, has the man, and it's knocked out. Number 8, Vincent Wilkerson had his hands on it for a second, but
Cedric Thomas was right there in coverage. Does a nice job as you see Tease. Big number 11 right there, gets in his line of sight, and he has to kind of scramble, create a little time there. But big number 11, Laquan Johnson Jr. at 6'3", 256 pounds, gets in his sight line, makes him scramble around, brings up third down here for the Wolfpack.
That Vincent Wilkerson's pretty good sized young man too, 6'2", 205. He played for Delta State. Now here's Tease back, has to get rid of it quickly. Intended right below us here to Max Novak again. Now Novak, I got a chance to talk to him. He played his college ball at Linfield College out there in Oregon.
Yeah,
but he was here last year. He said he played for the Topeka Tropics a year ago.
Number 14, It's 10 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, and Billings, a costly penalty right there, roughing the quarterback on Tease. Linfield, McMinnville, Oregon, beautiful out there.
Yes,
this Washington roster is littered with folks from the Pacific Northwest. Lots of tie-ins out there. Of course, Washington based in Seattle, but not afraid to dip down into that Oregon area to find some talent for this football team.
So a couple big penalties have set up the Wolfpack nicely as they've got the ball at the Billings 19-yard line. Piasse back to throw. Throws across the middle. It's complete with the tackle made immediately there by Dwayne Brown.
That was Cedric Thomas.
I'm sorry. Yep, you're
and
right.
Max Novak ran that little hitch route, little 5-yard hitch route. Piasse scrambling a little bit. Getting a little bit of happy feet back there in the pocket.
Gain of 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5.
This Billings pass rush hasn't got home yet, but they're creating a little bit of problems protection-wise for this Washington squad.
Let's see what they call here on 2nd down. 2nd and 5. Man in motion. That pass quickly to Deshaun Williams, and he's tackled immediately. I think he got back to the original line of scrimmage, but Outlaws had good defense on that one.
That little quick hitter out to Williams. You're going to see big number 11, Laquan Johnson, able to get back home from his defensive end spot. Billings defense rallying hard here.
Looked like Sean Lewis had the first shot at him, and then his teammates finished the job, so that brings up 3rd and 5. Ball at the 14-yard line, and the clock running now. You see 6:20 left here in the first half. The Outlaws on top 24-6. But Washington trying to get a little closer here. There goes Williams in motion. Circles around. Parker drops back, gets some pressure, and he finds his intended receiver. Good for a first down.
Going to be a first down right there. Good job finding the sticks by big number 8, Vincent Wilkerson. Didn't get any yards after the catch, but this was an easy decision for Taasi. Fires it out there. No yards after the catch. Great job on defense, Sean Lewis.
Well, there's not much defense against that play. It was like bang, bang, and it's just right in his hands. Got to mention, I love the Wolfpack helmets.
They are
They've got
awesome.
uniforms.
They are absolutely awesome. There's a lot of things in building a program. We talked to Coach Wells early, and there's a lot of things that they're doing right out there. They're trying to do this foundationally. They're trying some new things and building the team. One of the things they got absolutely right off the jump is that helmet. It is absolutely awesome.
Piasse out of the shotgun. Look, and it's right in and out of the hands. Intended for Novak, cutting across the middle. Defense for Billings that time was Jason Armstrong, but a ball just a little off the fingertips.
Well, it was hot, coming in hot, downhill off of Teasi's hands. Things are happening a little quick back there, it looks like, for Mr. Teasi. JT is, I don't know, you call it happy feet. In this game, things do happen so fast where you watch Harker just kind of go through things pretty calmly. Teasi, very good athlete. Sometimes that works to his advantage. Right there, just kind of got a little bit hurried with the throw.
The head coach, J.R. Wells, got the play into Teasi. We got Deshaun Williams split out here to the near side, and now going in motion goes Novak. Piasse drops straight back across the middle. Intended for Deshaun Williams. Another penalty flag flies.
Well, Williams is one of those big guys that's not afraid of contact. And against these smaller DBs, they're going to grab and hold when you push into them.
Number 0 on the defense. It's half yards, half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Well, they're going to say it's number 0, but from our vantage point, it looks like 0 from the front side. From the back side, it's 6.
Well, the Outlaws wish that was 0. That would mean Carrance Higgins would be in the game, but he is, with that injury suffered last week, is not active in this ball game. He usually wears number 0.
Well, Williams there, you see that. He's running for contact against those smaller DBs, looking for a call like that.
Timeout, Washington.
Trying to create a little space.
Their first timeout of the half. This will also be the first immediate timeout of the second quarter.
Well, I got to say, the Outlaws have shot themselves here in the foot with these big penalties, 3 penalties in a row on this drive alone.
Exactly. They extended a drive in the first quarter the same way, but we're going to have to see how they respond here backed up against their own end zone.
So we had a hold call against the line for the Outlaws, and then 2 holding calls against them on the pass department. 4:17 left. We're going to take a quick timeout. The score, you see it there, the Outlaws enjoying a big lead over the Wolfpack, but it's still early. Second quarter action. We'll be back.
When storms happen, storm chasers from out of state immediately follow.
You've probably seen them running around town lately. My father has owned this company for over 20 years.
I've been local my whole life, and we're going to be here long after the storm is over.
Donahue Roofing offers an unprecedented lifetime warranty. We're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau.
We'll work with your insurance company to make it easy on you.
When you need help, choose local.
And call Donahue Roofing and Siding today.
In a world where only the strong survive, one team stands above the rest. The Billings Outlaws. Get ready for the ultimate showdown where the gridiron turns into a battlefield. Are you ready to witness raw power, unrelenting spirit, and the true heart of champions? Join the Outlaws Nation and be part of the revolution. Don't just watch history being made. Be a part of it. Billings Outlaws. Defying the odds. Rewriting the game.
You see the Outlaws. Welcome back to TDS Fiber Field here in Metra-Park, Billings. You see the Outlaws already thinking playoffs as they're advertising the playoffs coming up. All right, let's see if Washington can draw pay dirt here. Intended pass down in the corner for Max Novak, but overthrown by Tease. So on first down, it'll be incomplete, and it'll bring up second down. The ball now inside, right at the 5-yard line.
Well, you can see how close. There's some suites on either end, well, along the sidelines of the one side, but you can see the fans lined up right there. The folks over there in the beer garden had a better chance at that than Novak did. But Tease, those crossing routes are hard to cover, and especially if they're in man coverage, to get him a shot. But there's a guy over there right now celebrating that he's got a free ball, courtesy of JT Tease.
All right. With the back in the backfield for extra protection. Tease now is going to run it. Throws across the middle. In and out of the hands. That's
Novak again. And Armstrong right there on the spot does a great job catching up late. Billings defense getting home up front there as they're flushing Tease almost every time right now. And Novak unable, as we see again. Armstrong making a nice play, making sure that they buy one more scoreless down here, but Washington knocking on the door here in the second quarter rather.
Armstrong, 5'8", 155, gives up quite a bit of size to these big receivers, both Williams and Wilkerson.
He hasn't been matched up against Williams yet.
Tease sends Novak in motion, and in the backfield, Tease is sacked. Big number 11, Laquan Johnson Jr. He has a safety already in the game, and now a sack.
Well, he's doing a great job from that defensive end spot, using his length to his advantage, and right there, no place for JT Tease to go. And big number 11, Johnson.
Down. So they had it first and goal at the 5, and they backed him up.
Johnson did a good job there, Jay, of staying home. They ran that quarterback keeper earlier with Tease. Johnson stayed home, wasn't fooled a second time. Good job on his part. Brings up a big fourth down for the Wolfpack.
All right. So Tease has big Deshaun Williams split out this side, Wilkerson the other side. And Cedric Walker rather, calls timeout for the Outlaws. He saw what was happening.
Billings.
Did not like the setup
first
they
time
had.
out of the half.
No, he did a good job. He's pretty animated right there. He getting things lined out right here.
We're going to take a quick break. 24-6 with 2 minutes to go here towards halftime. The Outlaws lead it. We'll be right back.
When storms happen, storm chasers from out of state immediately follow.
You've probably seen them running around town lately. My father has owned this company for over 20 years.
I've been local my whole life, and we're going to be here long after the storm is over.
Donahue Roofing offers an unprecedented lifetime warranty. We're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau.
We'll work with your insurance company to make it easy on you.
When you need help, choose local.
And call Donahue Roofing and Siding today.
Back live here in the Metra, Billings, Montana. Jay Cohn along with Bobby Beers. Billings Outlaws right now leading 24-6. It's fourth down for the Washington Wolfpack. Can the Wolfpack punch it in here? They've done a good job up to now. They've had 3 defensive penalties against the Outlaws up to now. Here's a quick pass to Novak across the 5, but he's tackled before he makes it into the end zone.
Hey, I'll tell you what, this Billings defense sees the screen develop. They're using Williams as a blocker right there. And Cedric Thomas, it was his job to clean this up. They get their wide receivers blocking out, the screen pass to Novak. And then right there, I'll tell you what, Cedric Thomas does a great job just making sure he doesn't have to destroy him or blow him up. Just get him to the ground before he gets in the end zone, does his job. The Billings defense bends but not breaks, keeping the Wolfpack to a 6-point total so far in this first half. Great job by the Billings defense rallying to the ball.
Absolutely, especially after 3 consecutive holding penalties
they've been
against
their
them.
own worst enemy.
Yeah.
They really have. It just the penalties killing them, allowing those Washington drives to continue right there. But bow up, stopped Washington, and now starting their offensive deep in their own end zone here.
Here goes the pass. Arthur Anderson catches it. He's close to first down yardage across the 10 out to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Looks like he might have enough.
No signal yet from the guys in stripes. I should have wore stripes today, Jay.
Anderson has a couple of touchdowns on the year. 5 receptions
Offsides
for
on the
45
defense,
yards.
number 92. That penalty has been declined. Results of the play is a first down.
So it was enough for a first down. The penalty is declined. See if the Outlaws can take advantage here in the last minute 16 of this first half. Has been a fast-moving first half, as most AFL games are. Clock continually runs till the final minute of the half. We'll see how clock management comes into play right now. Clock is running now, and in motion goes Dwayne Brown. Here's the give to Swoboda. Billings content to run this one. He gets up to the 14-yard line. Hunter Swoboda, they call him the Swiss Army knife, or he does so many things. Ouachita Baptist College
Timeout.
out of Arkansas
Media.
is where Hunter
Final
Swoboda went
media
to college.
timeout of the half.
He does a great job in protection. He fits very, very well and cleans up a lot of stuff. And he's not a bad runner with the football in the arena game.
Another quick break coming your way. 24-6, the Outlaws lead it. We'll be right back.
Oh, hey there. Are you drinking out of a regular cup? Why, when you can have a loud cup?
You can be loud and then have a sip.
It's not loud in here, so where's my cup?
Go out loud!
Yes!
Let's go!
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
Back to the live action, 53 seconds till halftime. The Outlaws trying to take advantage after a defensive stop. Pass complete to Arthur Anderson across the 20. Finally hit across the 15. Tackle made by Brandon Wellington, but not before the Outlaws pick up a first down, and the clock will stop at 46 seconds now as they set it in play. The clock continues to run down to 40 seconds.
You see Wellington just coming in pursuit, and behind that play just cleaning it up, forcing Billings to take another play here.
And there goes Anderson in motion again. Harker looking for him into the corner, overthrows him just a bit as he hammers into the boards along with J.R. Nelson playing defense that time, where he played for the Montana Grizzlies in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, former Grizz right there on defense right there. Harker misses his guy in the end zone. Nelson in that transition from Stitt to Delaney.
Right.
And those are the Grizz nations out there, they might recognize that. He was part of the eventual evolution into the national championship. How do you want to say that?
Their run this past year.
They were they made a run all the way to the championship game, but Nelson, a former Grizz, back on the field here in Billings.
Anderson again, it's in motion. Let's see if Harkin can find him this time. Look for him, find him. Incomplete, but 2 penalty flags fly.
They're going to get Micaiah Lee there.
He's disputing that call.
Pass interference, not happy at all. I don't know that you're going to ever find a defensive back that's going to admit that.
Number 6 on the defense, previous spot, half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
All right, so they're going to place the ball at the 7-yard line. And the Outlaws will have 21 seconds left here.
Well, we know that that's plenty of time to go the length of the field in arena ball, right, Jay? After last week, Billings did learn clock management's important. And
yes.
It's all the way down to the last tick, and they did put some time back on, 21 seconds here for the Outlaws.
Let's see what Cedric Bonner, the offensive coordinator, wants to do here. Harker back to pass, throws. Touchdown, Outlaws! Arthur Anderson.
And Anderson with a little bit of, he's going to get it unsportsmanlike here. Throwing the ball back in the face of Micaiah Lee. But not before Billings puts some more points on the board. They're not going to take those off the board.
The results of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike, number 1 on the offense. That penalty will be enforced after the kickoff.
All right, so there you heard it. After the kickoff, little excessive celebration and maybe taunting, throwing the ball in the face. But Harker to Anderson, 6 points for the Outlaws. And here's Bailey Giffen to see if he can add the 7th point. Add to the 30-point total so far. Snap is down, and it's blocked. Blocked by the Washington Wolfpack.
I believe that was Wellington there.
Harker is actually the holder as well. So 17 seconds left. It's still enough time for the Wolfpack to score. In case you missed last weekend against the Nashville Cats, Billings scored to take the lead back with 18 seconds to go. But that was enough time for Nashville to go the length of the field and score with 1 second to go to upset the Outlaws last weekend. Bobby, we said one of the storylines, how will the Outlaws rebound after a heartbreaking loss like that? They're leading 30-6 at halftime. I think we can rest assured they righted the ship.
Yeah, there probably wasn't that much to fix, right? That's a good game. Nashville Cats, long storied history in the league. And, they're under new leadership with Jeff Fisher, the new commissioner and head coach in Nashville. There's a lot of stuff always going on in the Arena League. So, these guys being able to kind of put that one behind them tonight and then, putting some points on the board, just kind of pick up where they left off. It wasn't for anything other than unable to finish the game. And these guys love to play, and it's been apparent tonight.
All right, Giffen kicking off again. Off the board, goes right off X-Man. Crawford in the end zone. He's not going to get out. And that's going to be more points for Billings.
That starts with that kick right there. You talked about Bailey Giffen being a weapon, and him right there just kind of, throwing a lob wedge at the bottom of that net. And now we've got extracurriculars, coach. We got guys leaving the bench. We got guys jogging down. Went from arena football to playoff hockey in a blink of an eye right there, Jay.
There is that. Here it is again.
Just right there off the iron at the bottom. That's hard to field anyways, coming off the net, let alone the iron. And then Crawford. That swarming Billings coverage team right there. We saw him get down there earlier. That time, no breathing room for X-Man Crawford.
Let's see what the call is. The officials are talking it over. The head coaches are down there. Finau is the one who made the tackle against the X-Man, Xavier Crawford. Well, they definitely tackled him in the end zone.
After the play, there are 2 penalties, 1 on each team.
There you go.
Unsportsmanlike, number 8 on Billings. Unsportsmanlike, number 7 on Washington. Those penalties offset. However, the previous unsportsmanlike penalty on the touchdown will be enforced from the 10-yard line, first down Washington.
That's a lot to swallow right there, Jay. So we had offsetting penalties on the kickoff, but there was an offsetting penalty after the touchdown. And so that's what's being assessed here against Billings. And so no points or anything exchanged in that explanation. And it's first down Washington at the 20 with 17 seconds left here in the first half.
Billings did get the 1 point because Washington did not get out of the end zone on the kickoff. So that's how we ended up with 31-6. 17 seconds left. Motion on the Billings line. They'll be called for offsides. Tiase is going to run it now and just throws it out of bounds to get rid of it. But it'll be offsides against the defense if my eyes prove correct. Yeah. So in arena football, if they kick it, it hits the rebound nets and you don't get it out of the end zone.
Number 10 on Billings, it's 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
If you don't get it out of the end zone on the kickoff, that's a 1 point for the kicking team. And
the
that's
third
exactly
man in the booth tonight, Jay, is our official. Our head guy right there is getting a lot of airtime. This second quarter has been his quarter to shine. They've done a nice job of keeping things under wraps and, kind of, I don't know, refereeing whatever's going on the field tonight. That's their job. Lots of penalties, lots of action all over the board tonight here in Billings.
That's Mr. Clonch is our head referee.
Timeout.
Another
Billings,
timeout.
Their second and a half.
All right, so with 10 seconds to go, let's just keep it here. We were a little concerned how Billings might rebound after that heartbreaking loss. I think we can rest assured we have not seen DeAndre Burrell. I see him over in the Washington Wolfpack bench area. It'll be interesting to see if they break out this new quarterback in the second half, who has quite a history in indoor football himself.
Yeah, he played with the SaberCats, long storied history in the league. They're not back this year. We'll see what happens in the future, but Burrell has had a lot of success here. They bring him in pretty confident in his abilities. The biggest question is he able to pick it up? Whatever.
Please put 30 points on the score. 30 points for Billings.
Another correction from Mr. Clonch right there. But, yeah, Burrell, I'm sure that, him digesting the playbook all throughout the game, talking protection there with the lineman earlier as we saw him on film.
So they take that point away from Billings. 10 seconds left. Tiase going to go deep into the corner. Whoa! And flipping over the board.
Right over there in the Dave's Hot Chicken area.
That was Wilkerson. Both Wilkerson and the defender for the Outlaws.
That's Armstrong.
Went right over the boards.
Been all over here as he just launches this one. Deep ball. Neither one of those guys can get it, but they both went into the stands. As you see the folks right there. Got a grandpa there protecting his grandson. Folks over there still making adjustments to their booth or their suite. That excitement gets up close and personal here in arena football, folks.
This could be the last play of the half. 4 seconds left. Tiase getting some pressure, and he's going to be sacked.
That's Finau right there. Relentless on his pursuit right there. Pays off right there to end the half.
That's the end of the first half.
All right, and it's
from
been
his
a wild and
linebacker
woolly
spot.
first half as well. 30-6. The Outlaws lead it by 24 at the break. As the teams head to their respective locker rooms, I would not be surprised to see J.R. Wells make a shift in quarterback for the second half. We'll have to wait and see. But we're at halftime. The Billings Outlaws have to like how things have gone so far. They're up by 24, leading the Washington Wolfpack 30-6. More of our halftime activities coming your way after this break.
Putting new roofing or siding on your home is not just about slapping on shingles. It's an engineered system. Hi, I'm Mitch Donahue, and this is my son Dylan.
We're proud to be local experienced contractors using the best materials around. We don't just meet code requirements, we exceed them.
Your new project is an investment. With Donahue Roofing and Siding, you can put your money into your home where it belongs.
Why not use the best? Call Donahue Roofing and Siding today.
Oh, hey there. Are you drinking out of a regular cup? Why, when you can have a loud cup?
You can be loud and then have a sip.
It's not loud in here, so where's my cup?
Go out loud!
Yeah!
Let's go!
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
I guess we can come. Dua Lipa. All right, welcome back to halftime. It's the Billings Outlaws leading the Washington Wolfpack 30-6. Jay Cohn along with Bobby Beers. Some impressions of the first half. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this first half, and it didn't take long as the Outlaws started things off with a safety.
Yeah, right off the bat there, we watched big number 11, Laquan Johnson Jr. did a great job all half using his hands, escaping the rush, or escaping the pass protection right there. Comes up with the safety, and then Harker, he's always very accurate with the ball, just throws it right into the corner of the end zone. The big one-handed grab right there by Derek Harvey gets Billings offense on the board there, and then you see Dwayne Brown, who played all over, making a great play on special teams right there, barely getting the Washington Wolfpack out of the end zone. And the Wolfpack right there, their big number 9, Williams, able to escape the tackle and then taking his big body into the end zone right there. That's a big drink of water,
yeah,
Jay.
That was the big highlight of the first half for Washington. Here's Melissa Strother, the only female kicker in the league, and this is going to be blocked.
Big number 94, Antonio Smiley right there, puts his arm out, and then Brown again with the big return right here.
Look
escapes
at
one
the
guy.
Individual effort here. Now, unfortunately, fans, this is going to be called back.
This gets called back, but he escapes one tackle, then 2 tackle, drags this guy for a bit, spins out of that one. Number 6 has a shot at him, does drag him down. He does find pay dirt, gets called back on a hold or a block in the back call. Great individual effort by Brown, and then Harker again. Simply on the money right there again to Harvey.
Derek Harvey's had a heck of a first half, and Dwayne Brown also got into the action as well. You can see this action is pretty much nonstop. 30-6, the Outlaws have to be tickled to death of how things have gone here in the first half.
Well,
and keep in mind, they're missing Carrance Higgins, who had over a dozen touchdowns so far in the season. Big shoes to fill.
Well, and Billings has done that not just with one person. We've seen Harvey have a big half in the end zone right there. But Dwayne Brown's done a nice job. They've picked up a couple of great individual efforts from a lot of folks. So it's not just one person that stepped up for this Billings offense. And with Harker commanding the quarterback spot, it's really, just don't screw up and catch that ball because it's going to be on you pretty quick here.
And the defense has been outstanding
Absolutely,
for the Outlaws as well.
have.
Headlined by Laquan
Johnson.
Laquan Johnson. Not only did he get a sack for a safety, he got a sack out here at midfield that pretty much stymied a Wolfpack drive.
He's done a great job. That Billings defense has done a great job getting pressure upfield and really keeping JT Tiase, really
off
balance, very uncomfortable. And they did get burned the one time with Tiase, showing how athletic he was, but then they started staying home on the backside of that. Billings really has done a nice job defensively, bouncing back from last week's last-second loss, Jay.
J.R. Wells and company of the Washington Wolfpack come in, scored only 6 points in the first half. That's not going to get it done against the homestand Billings Outlaws. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk with Outlaws owner Stephen Titus. We'll get an update about the playoff situation here in the AFL. Don't go away. Just go over and tap him on the shoulder.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
Hi, I'm Mitch with Donahue Roofing and Siding here in Billings, Montana. Whether you have storm damage and you need a professional to help you with your insurance claim, or you just want to spruce up the outside of your home with a new look, call the professionals at Donahue Roofing and Siding today, and we will be happy to come and help you with your project. We have the expertise to help you make the decisions on which siding and roofing is right for your project and your budget. Call us today.
And welcome back here at halftime. Jay Cone, joined by Stephen Titus, the owners of the Outlaws. We're keeping an eye, Stephen, on this. We have the Albany Firebirds coming in next week here, and they're undefeated right now, really in a tough battle with who they playing?
The Orlando Predators.
The Orlando Predators, yep. And it's
49-48 Albany with 4 minutes left. It's a great game down there, or up there in Albany, New York tonight.
So that'll be interesting to see if the Firebirds come in undefeated, or maybe they'll have one loss. You never know. We found out last week you can't leave them very much time on the boards. Let's talk to Stephen. You have to be happy how the team has responded after that heartbreaking loss last week so far.
Absolutely. You know, the fact of the matter is the Outlaws played their hearts out last week. Win or lose, I mean, how many Super Bowl teams have won throughout the season? It takes a pressure that's not needed for the Outlaws. You know,
it's a character builder.
Exactly. You don't get a trophy for a perfect season. You get a trophy for winning a championship game, an arena bowl, and that's what we're focused on. We're not focused about a perfect season. We're focused about making the playoffs and winning the arena bowl on July 19th.
Let's talk about those playoffs, because the league this past week announced kind of the format, and it'll start off with the 4th and the 5th seeded teams in the league playing each other, and that'll be the first weekend in June on the July 5th or 6th. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, it depends on which seed ends up getting the home game and where they have arena availability at. But when we decided the 5-team format, we kind of looked at the current standings. We looked at trying to minimize expenses for the teams, and this kind of 5-team format made sense. We have a very tight top 5 right now. The standings are extremely close, so every point, every game becomes so much more crucial and so much more exciting for the fans and for the players and for the team. So when we decided the 5-team format, we thought that was in the best interest of the league, and it's going to be quite the run the next 3 weeks.
So that first week will be the number 4 team against the number 5. Right now that would be the Predators against Southwest Kansas. The winner of that would go on to play the top seed, which right now, if Albany continues their undefeated season, that would be it. Right now it looks like Billings, we've secured a playoff spot. The question is, will the Outlaws be 1, 2, or 3? I guess it's still up for grabs.
Right. We're doing everything we need to do to secure that number 2 seed. We want that home game on July 12th. Right now it's looking like Salina will be up here on July 12th, but you know, we still have 2 weeks of football left after this game. Hopefully we can secure the win tonight and focus on going 1-0 this week and 1-0 again next week against Albany. And I cannot underestimate this Albany game. This is the game that America wants, is Billings and Albany. Is Billings for real, or is Billings just have this fakeness to us? And I can tell the arena football world, Billings is for real. And you know what? We're going to see a heck of a game next Saturday night at TDS Fiber Field at Metra-Park.
We can hardly wait for that. Of course, the effort and the whole focus is on making the Arena Bowl 33, and that comes up July 19th at a date, a neutral site yet to be announced.
And the Arena Football League is going to be making an announcement on that next week. Chris Chetty, the president of the AFL, and the group, the G6 Sports Group, just wait until they make this announcement next week. This is going to blow everyone's head out of the water. I mean, this is going to be so exciting, this game that they've been planning. It's going to be unlike anything arena or indoor football has ever seen. So G6 is making their mark on the arena and indoor football industry very quick. It's going to be a great announcement they're making here next week.
Lots of things for the fans to keep abreast of. And let's talk about the rest of the schedule. We have Albany next week.
Yes.
Then we're going to play Salina again before the playoffs, it looks like.
Right. It looks like we're going to have Salina in Salina in 2 weeks, and then Salina, as of right now, looks like they would come back 2 weeks after that. It looks like we'll get a first-round bye over Independence Day weekend, but that next weekend, as of right now, Salina would be here, and it's going to be a great game. Coach O'Neill is going to be coming back to Billings.
It's not, the Horan-O'Neill connection continues to kind of be a fun thing with the Outlaws, because he got his start here. He still lives in town. He comes back, and he's one of the top competitors in the league. It's always fun to play his teams.
Absolutely. It's always a great game. And I can tell you that Coach O'Neill, watching him over the last few years, he has a beginning of the year team, a middle of the year team, and an end of the year team. And he's putting together that end of the year team right now to make that playoff run he makes every year.
Well, Steve, just final thoughts as you enter the last few weeks of the regular season, looking forward to the playoffs. Billings needs to come out and support the team.
Absolutely, that's what we need. We need this loud crowd. We need that ninth man. We need that home field advantage that we know Billings can do. We're trying to bring back the championship days of the Billings Outlaws when we were winning the IFL championships. Now we're going to do it winning AFL championships, but we need that ninth man. I mean, last week, I have never heard it so loud at the end of that game against Nashville. And then that pin, you could hear a pin drop at that last play of the game. What an amazing game. Great kudos to Nashville on winning that game. But you know what, built us some character. We practiced this week. You know, the guys felt what it felt like to lose. We haven't lost all season. I don't think the guys want that again. So I'm looking forward to this Billings end of the year run for an Arena Bowl 33 title.
We all are. Stephen Titus, our guest here at halftime. Thanks for joining us. It's all Billings here in the first half. They're up 30-6 over the Washington Wolfpack. And we'll have that second half action for you coming up right after this. All right.
Thanks, Jay.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
When storms happen, storm chasers from out of state immediately follow.
You've probably seen them running around town lately. My father has owned this company for over 20 years.
I've been local my whole life, and we're going to be here long after the storm is over.
Donahue Roofing offers an unprecedented lifetime warranty.
We're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. We'll work with your insurance company to make it easy on you.
When you need help, choose local.
And call Donahue Roofing and Siding today.
In a world where only the strong survive, one team stands above the rest. The Billings Outlaws. Get ready for the ultimate showdown where the gridiron turns into a battlefield. Are you ready to witness raw power, unrelenting spirit, and the true heart of champions? Join the Outlaws Nation and be part of the revolution. Don't just watch history being made. Be a part of it. Billings Outlaws. Defying the odds. Rewriting the game.
They flip that around tonight. And we are back. It is halftime here at the First Interstate Arena, Billings, Montana, Metra-Park, TDS Fiber Field. Take your pick of names. It's the big barn, and right now, the homestanding Billings Outlaws enjoying a 30-6 lead over the Washington Wolfpack here at halftime. Of course, these two teams met earlier in the year. We mentioned that for fans, but back in early May, it was Billings defeating Washington 49-12. So right now, a similar scenario playing out. The question is, what will Washington do at quarterback here in the second half? JT Tease had a fairly productive first half, but obviously 6 points is not going to get it done. And just this past week, the Wolfpack announced the signing of DeAndre Burrell, who has had quite a career, the number 2 passing all-time at Utah State. He played in the NFL, time with Green Bay, Tampa, Tennessee, and with the San Jose SaberCats as well. In 2015, Burrell, his coach was Cedric Walker. They got a championship back then. So an interesting sidelight here as the Outlaws kick off in the second half, leading by 24. And Bailey Giffen tries for the deuce, but he can't get it. Picked up there by Crawford. And another penalty flag flies. Crawford just got it out across the end zone stripe. Avoid being tackled in the end zone.
Well, Crawford right there, there's a lot of adjustments that have to be made with that oblong ball, and right there, barely able to get the handle on it before exiting the end zone, just getting outside. It looks like they're going to put him down on the 1 or the 2 yard line.
During the return, holding, number 11 on the return team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Jazz Rashid getting his name called for the wrong reasons there, as Washington very, very close to their own end zone, as we saw Crawford just kind of loses feet. As you hear some loud cups as they go by here. Big seller here tonight at the big barn.
That was our head referee, Aaron Klonch, always does a fine job. He keeps control of the game once again. And we have DeAndre Burrell in as quarterback, number 15. You can see him there in the shotgun. Well, let's see how he does. Quick, gets out to Deshaun Williams, and he's a big drink of water to bring down across the 5-yard line out to the 7.
Yeah, Cedric Thomas at 5'10", 170 maybe. But that's a tall order for Cedric to bring down Deshaun Williams, who's, all a 204 on our sheet here that we kind of made up ourselves. But, that's a battle that he's not going to win very many times.
Timeout, officials.
Officials timeout. We've got
That's Thomas
Cedric
right there.
Thomas
That's
shaking up for the Outlaws.
Sitting down for a sec. Coach Walker's over there tending to him real quick.
A little more about DeAndre Burrell. Most recently won a title with the Arizona Rattlers in 2017. He's 35 years old. So he's much older than I would say.
He's not the oldest quarterback in the building, though, Jay.
No.
Jay's favorite quarterback, folks. Go ahead. Just take it away.
Well, my favorite quarterback is our backup quarterback for the Outlaws, Daniel Southwick. He's 42, and he's about to get a PhD. He's about to be Dr. Southwick.
He's got 2 master's degrees. He's been playing. He's got more Arena League jerseys in his closet than dress shirts.
At one point, over 13 years, he moved 20 times. So we have to, I'm hoping he has not played a snap for the Outlaws yet.
Every game.
But he might.
Folks,
tonight.
Every game we do, Jay's only request and hope is that he gets into the game.
What a great story. And his mom married Larry King.
There we go.
His stepfather was Larry King. Yes, the Larry King. So Daniel Southwick is the story all to himself.
As we see J.R. Nelson take the ball up past the first down. Washington able to get a first down here as we learn more about our backup quarterback from Jay.
And I've watched Daniel Southwick warm up. He's got a really good passing motion, but he is 42.
If you've hung around any sort of professional football, whatever level, for as long as he has, you have to have some residual value. So he's out of school. None of these guys are in class, so he's not helping with anybody's homework. So he's got to be at least functional at the quarterback spot.
All right, here it is. First down for the Wolfpack, and Burrell is going to keep it, and he's hit right away. That's Finau. So I'll see Finau.
Finau ended the half with a quarterback sack, picks up where he left off right there. I guess I'm going to give Burrell a yard there on the keeper. But Burrell at 35, that's not that old in our book, Jay. Still has a little juice.
He's a youngster. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. No gray hairs.
And he's only been with the team for 2 days. They announced on Thursday that he was joining the team, and here he is. So he's got to be a quick study. And right now it's like trailing 30-6. Why not put him in and see what he can do?
Exactly.
That's such great success throughout his career. Couple of hits like that last one, though, he might be thinking twice about coming back. In motion. That was Max Novak, and Burrell's going for Novak. Little shoving going on, but no flags fly. Novak up against number 21, Jason Armstrong. Had a little hand battle going on down the field.
Yeah, nothing call-worthy right there as Armstrong was in tight coverage. But, and Novak's going back, just saying, hey, just lay that one out. That was a little bit on the line right there. But, it's good. There's a lot of folks that Mr. Burrell doesn't know in his own huddle right now, let alone the playbook. So he's still trying to figure things out. Like I referenced drinking through the fire hose, but at 35 years old, been around, there's not much tread left on the tires, but what's left, there's value in the experience that he's had there, Jay, and that's really what Washington's looking for here.
So Burrell talking with one of the wide receivers, J.R. Nelson. There goes Max Novak in motion. And Burrell's trying to hit Novak, but overthrows him. So he's a little rusty coming off the bench. Hasn't played for a while.
From team to team, those exit angles out of your break, that differs from team to team and where they're looking for. As you see right here, he's not familiar with his receivers. It's a good ball, but Novak comes out. If he keeps that angle higher, he can run underneath that ball. You keep it at a sharp angle, and now the quarterback has to be right. So give your quarterback a chance there. Keep that angle high out of the break, and run under the ball. That's what that's what Billings does so well, is they'll keep their routes high out of the break, and then Harker just throws underneath, and then they go get him. As we see a nice long field goal attempt here.
Yeah, Melissa Strother's going to try like a 42, 47-yarder. It'll be collared in the end zone. Here comes the Outlaws.
Brown always dangerous with the ball.
And the
fumbles
ball is
it.
Loose on the field, and it looks like the Outlaws may have recovered. Dwayne Brown lost the handle right at the end.
Yeah, ran right into Big Jake Oliphant, big number 55. He stripped the ball, and then Brown scrambled back to get it.
So that was a 42-yard field goal attempt by Melissa Strother. Came up quite a bit short, but it was just as good as a punt. There's no punting in the AFL.
There's no punting in arena football, Jay. No punting in football. But Dwayne Brown always dangerous with the ball in his hands. We've seen him a number of times in the return game get positive yardage right there. Almost lost ones for Billings, but able to scramble. His motor's always running. Brown able to recover it, and Billings on the Washington side of the football field here to start this drive in the second half.
Another defensive stop for these Outlaws. Those are huge in the indoor game. There goes Harker, going to straight back to pass.
A little two-move action.
Open. Touchdown, Arthur Anderson, the fourth, all alone.
I'll tell you what, Arthur Anderson put a move on Caleb Brown. I'm glad that Caleb turned around and found him, because he looked a little bit lost on that, but Arthur Anderson does a great double move right here. That hitch moves that Billings has come out with, set that up all game long, and then Harker just lays the ball up, and Anderson runs underneath it for another 6 here for Billings coming out in the second half.
Isaac Harker, he has such a good pass, just led it perfectly, and picked up another touchdown pass, I believe his fourth of the game. Now Harker will hold here as Bailey Giffen tries to split the uprights on the point after, and he does. So the Outlaws draw first blood here in the second half, add to their lead. They now lead at 37-6.
Yeah, Billings picking up right where they left off at the end of the first half. No hiccups or hangovers from last week's, really tragic loss. And Billings just kind of, moving forward as Washington doesn't have any answers despite who they're putting at quarterback right now. And this Billings defense isn't the best one to kind of figure things out against.
Well, you mentioned, Bobby, that Billings comes in the stingiest defense in the AFL, having given up only 179 points while scoring 280 themselves.
And I hope that you and Stephen Titus talked about next week's game.
Yes, we did.
It could be a prelude to, what could be a
Arena Bowl.
Yeah, and they haven't announced where the Arena Bowl's at yet. That's being kept under wraps. But if things play out the way they should, and, there's still games to be played, Billings with one loss, Albany, who's coming into town next week, has no losses. That's going to be an exciting one for the Billings community to rally around and really create a hostile environment for an unbeaten team. Really trying to get Cedric Walker to put an and one in Albany's loss column.
Right now it was a close game between Albany and Orlando. Albany had like a 4-point lead, but there was only 4 minutes to go, and that's a world of time in the AFL.
Yeah, that's a forever
keep an eye
day
on how that game turns out between the Firebirds from Albany and the Predators from Orlando.
It really has become like kind of a community thing, Jay. At halftime they had the Lady Outlaws or the Outlaw Dancers.
Absolutely.
They had a bunch of mini Outlaw cheerleaders out there doing the dance routine. Jay got into it a little bit. It was one of his favorite pop artists. Who was it, Jay?
Dua Lipa. Are you kidding me?
Dua Lipa. I like Dua Lipa too. Who are we kidding? We all like Dua Lipa. But we lots of breaks here. It really is a pretty family-friendly atmosphere. Again, if you're up against the boards, watch yourselves a little bit. But you'll see the folks and the fans right up against those boards, and the players love it. They're giving them high fives on the way to the sideline, and when they celebrate in the touchdowns, fans are right there.
Here's the kick. Giffin's going to bounce it off the boards, and it's lost out of bounds. That was Caleb Brown trying to catch it, so that'll be a dead ball.
The ball went over the wall. By rule, will be placed on the 10-yard line. First down, Washington.
So no return. That's got to be liking that for Bailey Giffen, although he wanted to get another deuce.
Yeah, he was shooting for the two in between the uprights right there. That one falls out of bounds. Washington actually does get better field position than they normally see in their return game. So Giffen giving them a little bit of a gift. kicking that ball out of bounds here. A little bit more breathing room for DeAndre Burrell to start his second possession here in the second half.
See if he can catch one of these big wide receiver targets in Williams or Wilkerson. Burrell drops back, gets the pass, and it's intercepted. Derek Harvey down inside the 5.
And this time Harvey used both of his hands. We saw the touchdown earlier in the first half with one hand. This time he just jumps way up in the sky, plucks this one out of the air, and Burrell with a costly turnover here in the second half.
Now that time Burrell dropped straight back and just looked at his receiver, underthrew it a little bit. Let's see if we can get it on the replay, but a great play by Derek Harvey. He kind of turned his back and just went, whoop. Nope, I'll take that. Thank you very much. We've got some penalty flags after that play.
Well, Derek Harvey, they have him listed at 6 foot, but he's got the wingspan of a much taller human.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 55 on Washington. That's half the distance to the goal, and first down Billings.
That goes against Jake Oliphant, and he's not happy about it, but that's the way it is. So Billings will
he's
set
using
up.
some
Here's
colorful language right there.
Check the interception.
As you see Burrell right there, and Harvey just jumps right into the passing lane.
Deshaun Williams was the intended receiver. Derek Harvey right there with the nice heads-up play. Turnover for Billings, and the Outlaw set up at the 2-yard line.
They struggled right in this general area. They had great field positioning to start the first half. Couldn't push it in. We'll see how things change here for Billings.
Here's the give to Harvey again.
Second effort gets him in, Jay.
Nice job. Didn't think he had it to begin with.
Well,
good
he didn't.
job.
They put Blake Mitchell in at fullback, added him a big old lineman there. Harvey just followed the big blockers, and that second effort gets him into the end zone. So he gets the interception, and then the run play right here. You see big Blake Mitchell right there, and then the second effort by Harvey backing into the end zone, takes a couple of Washington Wolfpackians with him, and Billings up big here in the third.
Harvey with the 2-yard touchdown run after the interception. That's pretty rare. The guy gets an interception and then caps it off with a touchdown run of his own. So here comes Bailey Giffen. Bailey the Boot, they call him. And you can see why as he splits the uprights.
Put that into the sky boxes here at Metra-Park. Those are empty tonight, but that probably would have caused some people to flinch up there.
He has a very, very strong leg. Bailey the Boot Giffen, everyone likes to talk. Coach Cedric Walker says, I can't believe our kicker has a nickname, but what a great nickname. I've mentioned this before. Bailey out of Bryan, Texas. Lamar University was second team All-Southland Conference in college. He's 25. He's also a right-handed pitcher in baseball, so multi-sport athlete. And he has a master's in applied clinical psychology. Of course, a kicker with a degree in clinical psychology, but he lets his foot do the talking. The boot.
He does have a big
awesome
leg.
This year.
He really does have a big leg. He's been awesome for this Billings Outlaw football team. He's the strength of his leg is one thing. It is a very strong leg, but the accuracy that he has, and he combines that. I mean, he is a weapon. He's got the most deuces, which is a thing. In arena ball, kicking it between the uprights earns you 2 points on the board, and he's got more than anybody else in arena football.
Oh, he kicks that one off the scoreboard that hangs, so that'll be a dead ball.
You cannot bank them. You can't bank them off the scoreboard.
Kick, hit the scoreboard. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 25-yard line. First down, Washington.
That's the first one I've ever seen him do that with.
I think I've seen him hit it once before, but if you're here at the state in the Metra-Park, how they don't kick it into the scoreboard is a hard thing. It hangs right over the top. It's a great big scoreboard, one of those 4-sided scoreboards if you haven't been here. But so I'm sure Bailey Giffen isn't happy about that. His favorite thing to do is to make tackles.
No, he's a big dude. No, he does not miss leg day, folks. It is not an optical illusion on your screen. He's a big dude and very talented with his right foot.
All right, so here it is. DeAndre Burrell as his team, the Wolfpack, have it in good shape right at the midfield stripe at the 25. Here's Burrell getting some pressure. He's going to be sacked. Sacked by the Outlaws.
That's Antonio Smiley.
Smiley is smiling tonight.
Does a great job. I thought they had everything picked up there up front, but not this time. Billings runs a little bit of a twist inside, and Smiley comes free right into the lap of the newly acquired DeAndre Burrell. That's a tough way to welcome a new quarterback to your team. Just missing the twist inside, and there's a little bit of discussion going on up front as to what actually happened there.
I'll tell you, Antonio Smiley just beat everybody to the punch. He's 5'11", but weighs 295.
And he got into DeAndre Burrell's lap in a hurry.
So Burrell back under in the shotgun, complete out to Deshaun Williams, and he has enough for a first down for the Wolfpack.
And Williams winning that one-on-one battle with Cedric Thomas right there. Williams,
check that, I'm sorry. Back to the original line of scrimmage after that sack.
Gets back there. Big target like that. You know, they've tried to get it to him real quick on the outside. That's a good, consistent play for Washington.
So it'll bring up third down now. Still 3rd and 10.
You see Smiley there on your screen right there at home. That guy's been active up front all night. That Billings defensive front doing a good job.
Penalty flag flies. The pass intended over here for Max Novak, but he couldn't hang on.
I think we're going to get Finau going a little bit early from his jack linebacker spot.
It looked that way from here, didn't it? 5:21 left here in the third period. You see the score. The Outlaws 44. The Wolfpack
Illegal
6.
defense. Number 44 on Billings. Left his stance too early. It's 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Good eyes, Bobby. You spied it from here. So 5-yard will bring up a 3rd and 6.
No, that's an automatic first down.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
So they're going to move the whole chain set, get those guys into a safe position.
New life here for the Wolfpack.
That chain crew, they've got those down markers rigged up so that they can hang independently, and our chain gang can sit behind the play out of harm's way.
Good
Those guys
idea.
are pretty active
There's
all
not
night.
a lot of room down there.
No, there is not.
All right, so here goes Burrell. Williams in motion, and Burrell's in trouble again. And the sack goes to Chase McGowan.
Wow. Right there, Burrell just trying to buy some time. He was looking for Williams deep. And you just see Chase McGowan come free from his defensive end spot, able to get the sack and track down Burrell for another quarterback sack.
McGowan played his college ball at the University of Delaware. He was a blue hen.
Just watch him right here, active, gets up inside, beats his offensive tackle really quickly up inside. Not a lot of time for Burrell. But I'll tell you what, that was a nice move by Chase McGowan. Just comes up inside, gives up contain because he gets upfield so fast. And Burrell sacked for the second time on this drive.
McGowan listed at 6'1", 265. And he doesn't look like he's got that much weight on him. Maybe a little better shape.
Are you questioning the measurements here, Jay?
I'm questioning my stats. Clock stops.
Prior to the delay of game, timeout, Washington, their first of the half.
So the Wolfpack wanted to talk it over.
This will also be a media timeout.
You see the Washington coaching staff out there. Coach J.R. Wells out on the field there trying to get things cleaned up.
We'll take a quick break.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
Oh, hey there. Are you drinking out of a regular cup? Why, when you can have a loud cup?
You can be loud and then have a sip.
It's not loud in here, so where's my cup?
Go out loud!
Yes!
Go!
Downs for Harker.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. Jay Cohn talking with Bobby Beers here, looking at the stats of this game between the visiting Wolfpack and the Outlaws. 44-6, you see the score. According to my stats, Bobby, Isaac Harker has 6 touchdown passes already in the game.
Well, we talk about some of the different things that are happening. Billings is doing a good job with their protection up front for Harker and really taking good care of the ball. They did have the one, the fumble by Brown, but they recovered it. But Billings doesn't turn the ball over, and then they cause a lot of disruption up front defensively for the opposing offense. And so, Coach Cedric Walker's got a nice recipe going for success here in Billings, and it's continuing tonight against this Washington Wolfpack trying to find its way with a new quarterback.
2nd and 20 now for the Wolfpack after the sack. Burrell in trouble again. Flag flies, and he's sacked. Back inside the 10. Now let's see what the penalty flag is.
Yeah, Finau again back there in the backfield wreaking havoc from his linebacker spot. We're going to hear what's going on.
Holding. 92 on the offense. That penalty has been declined. 3rd down.
DeAndre Burrell wondering where did all the time go? Just not enough time to go through that progression. One or two looks, you got to get rid of it.
Well, Jake McGowan was coming hard. He gets the holding penalty called against his offensive tackle, and Finau is just coming right off the rear end of the defensive tackle right there, and there's no place for Burrell to go. There's a long way to go for a first down here, Jay.
You can say that again. They've gone
just
nothing
outside
but backwards.
Seattle, trying to get to Billings for a first down here for Washington.
Here goes Williams going deep.
Balls away.
Intended and hauled in.
Get a
there
lot of it
by
back with Novak.
Max Novak making up for it.
And Cedric Thomas on the coverage there, but not before Novak gets a lot of it back, brings up 4th down and manageable.
Well, that was a better pass. Watch Burrell here. He sees that Novak is loose along the boards, and there's
just
no
lays
way that
it up
Cedric
and allows
Thomas
him to run underneath
yeah,
it.
he's not going to catch that. Cedric Thomas a little late to that play. So let's see if DeAndre Burrell, as Bobby said, they were back inside the 10. They had to get down to the 10. That was about a 3rd down and 40, and they got 35 of it back. So let's call it 4th and 5, 4th and 6. Burrell back, pressure comes, throws incomplete, intended down there for X-Man. Xavier Crawford overthrown. So that'll be a turnover on downs, and the Outlaws will take over.
Another Billings defense stop, and that's really that really helps out your offense, not forcing them to feel like they have to score. And of course, Billings offense hasn't really had that problem tonight. You've talked about the success Harker's had, and folks, as I sit here and live and breathe, Jay's favorite players on the field.
Daniel Southwick is in the game. The first snap from scrimmage since he joined the Outlaws to start this season.
Pictures will do it no justice as to how happy Jay is right now, folks. Southwick is taking snaps here.
And here we go. There goes Arthur Anderson. The pass in the backfield to Dwayne Brown, complete. He completes his pass.
Brown right there, just that little quick hitter we see so much in football nowadays. Brown great with the ball in his hands, able to get 5 yards, 6 yards, gets second manageable. Southwick does a nice job getting that first pass out of the way. Nice completion. Brown able to get a little bit of yardage with it. Continue this momentum.
42-year-old Daniel Southwick from Provo, Utah. Played football for BYU, went on a 2-year mission, went to Oregon State, then Dixie State, and he literally has played for every indoor football team in America. His entire locker is a museum. Southwick drops back, looking. He's going to run it across the 20, hit from behind, almost got the first down. He's hauled down at the 22.
Both of our quarterbacks combined age is in the 70s, 77 years old, between the 35-year-old Burrell and the 42-year. That's some quick math with somebody with
illegal defense.
My education.
Number 11 on Washington, dropped into coverage. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
First down.
Washington just can't buy a break tonight. Wouldn't have been enough yardage for a first down, but the automatic first down, given the penalty, allows Southwick another set of downs to wreak some havoc. So we saw the 42-year quarterback kind of scramble there, a couple of yards, and then falls down, but gets a first down with the penalty.
He's got to be like having another coach on the field. He has 2 master's degrees and is working on his PhD. I'm not kidding. Southwick throwing and overthrows. Dwayne Brown just had a step on his receiver, but Southwick's pass just a little too far.
That type of play, when those walls come into play, reminds me that there's no warning track in arena football. In baseball, when they're running out there, you hear
Right.
the different surface. You saw Dwayne Brown on that one just kind of feel for the wall, trying to figure out exactly where he was on the field. Knew it was coming up quick, and Southwick, good pass. Only his guy was going to get it, but comes up incomplete, looking for Brown again.
Offensive coordinator Shedrick Bonner himself, an indoor football league legend, talking to Daniel Southwick. I'm not sure who's the elder statesman there or not.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that Shredrick has a couple of years on him. Not by much. They might have taken some classes together at some point, though, Jay.
We're taking a break. The end of the third quarter has come and gone. It's the Outlaws 44, the Wolfpack 6. We'll be back with fourth quarter action in a moment.
When storms happen, storm chasers from out of state immediately follow.
You've probably seen them running around town lately. My father has owned this company for over 20 years.
I've been local my whole life, and we're going to be here long after the storm is over.
Donahue Roofing offers an unprecedented lifetime warranty. We're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau.
We'll work with your insurance company to make it easy on you.
When you need help, choose local.
And call Donahue Roofing and Siding today.
Catch the second half.
Honestly, that's where I'm headed.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action dead ahead here at the Metra-Park Arena, TDS Fiber Field, home field for the Billings Outlaws. The 5-1 Outlaws, as you see on the scoreboard, enjoying a 44-6 advantage over the visiting Washington Wolfpack. Here's Daniel Southwick, the quarterback for the Billings Outlaws, throwing and finding his man. That's Dwayne Brown. Dwayne's had a nice game here, as he usually does for the Outlaws. That's good for a first down for Billings.
Yeah, Brown right there does a nice job. Southwick, all that experience right there, finds Brown again, puts the ball in a spot where he gets it. This Billings offense, doesn't matter who's throwing the balls, these guys go up and grab them.
Dwayne Brown came in with as the leading receiver for Billings, 21 receptions for 343 yards, and he's got a ton of receptions here tonight, including a full court return of a kickoff that was for naught because it was a holding call brought it back, but it was outstanding individual effort. Here's Southwick.
That's Harvey again.
He reached over the end zone. Are they going to call it good?
What are we getting here? No call yet.
Delayed call from the officials.
There it is. Touchdown Billings. Harvey does a great job. Dwayne Brown does a lot of the yeoman's work for this Billings offense, catching a lot of short passes, done a lot of return work, but Harvey's the one with the nose for the end zone as Southwick just reads it all the way across, puts it into Harvey's mitts. He uses one or two hands regardless. He knows where to score, and he's in the end zone again as Billings is just running away with this one here in the fourth quarter. That makes it 50-6, Jay, and they're running on all cylinders again.
Here's Bailey Giffen, the boot. See if he can split the uprights. And he does.
Perfect.
He is uncanny, and another penalty flag flies as Blake Mitchell gets into it with
that's big number 92.
Johnny Navarro.
And Blake Mitchell.
And
some fans using some choice words here right behind us. But Rainier Mitchell right there, he's had a lot of
unsportsmanlike conduct. 92 on Washington. That penalty will be banked and enforced from the results of the kickoff.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, so Johnny Navarro called for unsportsmanlike. More frustration as he and Blake Mitchell were squaring off after the touchdown pass. But Daniel Southwick is in the book. Touchdown pass to Derek Harvey. And the Outlaws add to their advantage, now leading at 51-6 The first time these two teams played, it was 49-12, so very similar ending result here.
There's lots of excitement going on around us. It was 92 for Washington. That's Rania Mitchell. He was the one that got in the extracurriculars. The two Mitchell boys, Blake and Rania, going after it. Nonetheless, Billings comes out on top of that skirmish any way you look at it, because they banked a penalty, which you can't do in any other aspect of sport that I know of, but they banked the penalty. It'll be enforced after the kickoff here, Jay, and we're about ready to underway with one of my favorite players. This guy doesn't miss leg day. Look at those thighs. That guy's got power all day.
Oh, and he hits.
He does. He hit them both. He's got a deuce. He hit the scoreboard, and now he hit the walkway across the roof of the Metra.
The ball hit an overhead structure. By rule, it will be placed on the 25-yard line. However, the previous unsportsmanlike conduct will be enforced from that spot. 10 yards, first down, Washington.
Oh, so they put it on the other Mitchell. They put it on the Billings Mitchell, not the Washington Mitchell. So the banked unsportsmanlike will work its way out to the 15-yard line. Here we go, Washington. Trying to get some points on the board and a little bit of offensive consistency. Yeah, Billings has cleaned up the defensive penalties, though, this half, Jay.
Absolutely.
So far.
Well, head coach J.R. Wells would just like to get DeAndre Burrell into the flow of the game. He hasn't played for a while. He's only been with the team for 2 days. He just wants to see what he can do and develop some rapport with these receivers.
Right.
Delay game.
Now a delay a game again.
Delay game. Number 15 on Washington. 5-yard penalty. It stays first down.
So they'll back him up even further.
Well, they had to run a guy on. They didn't have enough guys in the offensive huddle. They had to run a guy on late. So things just kind of going from bad to worse here for Washington.
We did have a chance to talk to head coach J.R. Wells. Bobby and I did before the game. He was all positive. He likes what he sees. He knows they're building a foundation for a franchise, and he isn't expecting to set the world on fire. Here's Burrell, fumbles it from behind, and it's picked up by Harvey again, and he's going to take it in for the score. Derek Harvey, what a game he's having.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jay, this starts up front. We're going to see this play from the jump as Harvey again finds the end zone, this time on a fumble recovery, runs it in, but this starts at the snap of the ball. Raphael Turner's 5'8", 260 pounds, and he gets run over by big number 94, Antonio Smiley. Causes the pressure right there by a multitude of Outlaws. Ball's on the ground. Harvey picks it up. What did we say the last?
Off to the races.
He scored the last touchdown. He scores the next touchdown. And Billings just running away. There's not enough accolades that you can say positively about how this thing's rolling for Billings. And if you're Washington right now, you're looking for answers. I don't know how many degrees they've got on that sideline in Billings, but I don't know if there's anybody that's going to fix those problems tonight.
I saw a good shot of Mania Smith and Cedric Walker.
Yep.
And there goes Bailey Giffen splitting the uprights again. Fumble recovery.
Well, we talked about this early in the game. One of the reasons that both Billings quarterbacks are able to do what they do is because of the protection up front. And they've done a good job all night protecting Southwick and Harker, and they've been, there's really been no pressure right there. And if you're going to allow a quarterback really just unfettered time, they're going to hurt you. So there's a couple of things that you could, possibly do in the meantime, but a little consistency at the quarterback play for Washington maybe. But Billings is doing a good job. They're a good football team. Their record shows it, and they're showing that they can bounce back from a little bit of a setback suffered last week. So
I gotta love this. Here comes this is big Brian Sarnowski with the Wolfpack going on the boards, giving all the young fans high fives. This is a family-friendly
very
atmosphere
intimate.
here. And
very intimate atmosphere.
Absolutely. So here we'll get another look at the boot, Bailey Giffen, and a kickoff.
What's he going to hit this time, Jay? Any bets?
I'm going to think he's going to come very close to another deuce. We'll see. Xavier Crawford back. He'll have the best look at it. The kick gets going.
He's got a shot here. Nope.
Off the rebound net. Crawford gets it. Across the goal line out to the 10. Now out on the boards where he's smashed into the boards by
Finau.
Siasi
Finau is very active in the tackling game tonight, whether it's on special teams. He's done a great job on defense. You know, he got the fumble, he got a sack. Like I said, he's done a great job, finds the ball wherever he's at. And Crawford right there, Washington found themselves, that's their best return of the night, coming out of the end zone, fielding it off the net. So Crawford showing a little bit of something there to everybody else, getting the ball out away from the end zone.
Is back under center or in the shotgun for Washington. Burrell's over on the sidelines trying to get a breather, and things have moved fairly quickly, and DeAndre really hasn't had much time to think about it. Split out here to the near side is J.R. Nelson, and now in motion goes Micaiah Lee. And this is Nelson.
Quick hitter to Nelson right there.
Out to the 20. Close to a first down.
Yeah, this has been a pretty good play for them all night. Doesn't really matter who catches the ball, but right there, Nelson, again, the Montana product, coming back to Billings. Able to get the ball out. Gets good for 8 yards there on first down.
Cedric Thomas in on the stop for the Outlaws. Now in motion goes Kyle Lee. Novak. Piasse finds Novak. Right at the 20, hit into the boards. And Cedric Thomas again in on the stop there. Novak hauled it in. Yeah, he's had a nice game.
He's done a nice job tonight for Washington.
Novak played for Linfield College, you mentioned, out of McMinnville, also for Simon Fraser University. Last year, he told me he played for the Topeka Tropic, so he's played here in the Metro before. But Topeka had a rough season last year. Here goes Tiase. He's going to hand it off for a running play.
And that's Sarnowski, who was giving all of our young fans high fives and bumps there on the sideline. He gets a carry this evening.
He's listed at 6'2", 220, so
that's pretty accurate. I'd say that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Sometimes the numbers we get are accurate. Sometimes you have to put an eyeball on them and verify, but I'd give that one to Sarnowski. I'd give him maybe 6 foot.
Novak. Goes Tiasi under center this time. Novak goes in motion. And Tiasi retreats straight back, gets some pressure, throws over his intended receiver, Novak, and Tiasi just had to get out of there. That defensive line for the Outlaws is coming back with their ears pinned.
Chase McGowan was very active on that play from his left defensive end spot, gets up and around. I thought we were going to get another holding call, but he was all over. Got upfield, beat him with speed, broke down. Tiase had to get rid of the ball right there, but that defensive front, all 4 or 5 of those guys getting upfield for Billings have really caused problems for this Washington offense.
You bet. Antonio Smiley, good look at him there. Laquan Johnson next to him. Along with Chase McGowan, they've really had their way, and then Hunter Swoboda right behind him from his linebacker slot. There goes Nelson in motion this time. Tiase gets the snap, looks over the middle, and intended it, intercepted. Intercepted by Sean Lewis.
Yeah,
in and out of the hands of Wilkerson.
Yeah, Wilkerson, that one hit him right in the 8. He bumps it up, and I'll tell you what, Sean Lewis, who probably he just as easy could have been beat for the touchdown here, but finds the ball sitting right into his hands. Was a little bit late there. Sometimes it's better to be late than on time, and in that case,
the ruling on the field, interception with forward progress stopped at the 1-yard line, first down Billings.
So that's not a touchback. They're going to say he's out at the 1. So Lewis gets credit for the interception right there. Another great play by this Billings defense. 6 points in an arena game. If you're on that defensive unit tonight, I don't know what you're going to do, but I think taking an ice bath is the first thing, and the next thing is probably a pseudo celebration of some sort at some point in time down the road in the near future. That's a great job by that unit.
Absolutely. The entire Billings Outlaws team. They came to play tonight. I was here for their walkthrough yesterday, and they were just yucking it up, having a good time. Very loose crew, and there was no signs of a last-second loss, any hangover. Here's the intended pass, intended for Dwayne Brown, and Southwick puts it up.
Yeah, Nelson does a good job right there of using that 8th or 9th defender, the wall there. Just pushes Brown into that one, and Southwick just hoping to, put it up high enough that Brown can catch up after running into the boards.
So J.R. Wells and the Washington Wolfpack are going to head home with a 1-6 record. But I'll tell you, they came to play as well tonight. They're just outgunned.
Yeah, Billings right now, Billings is
like a well-oiled machine.
They're working in some depth here. They got some guys that we don't often see in the game.
Southwick with the quick pass, complete. That's to Isaiah McFarland, the ball on the ground.
He ended up getting it back. Going to get a 3rd down out of it. Out there to Isaiah McFarland, as you said, from
Ellenwood, Georgia. It's so fun to talk to the players of how they ended up here in Billings, and they all have an amazing
story. Yeah, the
backstory to get here.
The backstory is always kind of interesting, really worth its own little story in and of itself. And if you get enough time with the guys, getting to know them, they just love ball, and it's on the Billings end of it. It's pretty apparent with just kind of the overall joy that they all play with and seem to have kind of bonded together. So, like I said, we're seeing some new bodies here. It might take us a second to find them on the roster, but nonetheless, they're getting some time here just because they've been so successful to this point.
Terrence Ames Jr. in there. Oh, and Southwick's going to get sacked at the 1.
They're going to give him.
That's Johnny Navarro, number 52, I believe, in there.
It is Johnny Navarro, recent addition. Last few days, a new addition over there in Washington, coming from his linebacker spot. Good spot by the referee, keeping him out of the end zone. So we got 4th down here.
Well, Southwick has to be thinking, maybe this isn't that fun. that PhD's looking pretty good.
He was waiting on that, just waiting 1 second just to see if that guy would clear, and then he started feeling the rush and pulled the ball back down.
Great experience here, the Arena Football League. Really showing no signs of the controversy that's followed the league here in Billings. It's been all thumbs up so far this year.
Well, yeah, Montana's kind of insulated in that matter, wouldn't you say? I mean, it doesn't matter what happens elsewhere in the world. We'll hear about it.
Delay game. Number 12 on the offense, half the distance to the goal. Stays 4th down.
Not going to take much off of being inside your own 1, so they'll go half the distance of the ball back towards the end zone.
But good point, Bobby. I mean, we're pretty insulated here in Montana. We at least feel that. But
the fans here were treated they were good football early. They're good football tonight. And, despite the controversy that happens within the rest of the league, it was just, guys that show up, go out to practice, come and play the game, Everybody, nobody here, we didn't hear any of the rumblings that we heard elsewhere. We had guys showing up for games, ready to play.
Another penalty against Billings.
Well, that happens when you get a bunch of new guys in there. A
right.
little bit of little jitters, a little bit of adrenaline. Fighting for roster spots, that's a competitive deal, that's a job.
And they move it back just a little bit further.
On the offense, half the distance to the goal, stays 4th down.
At the same time, Billings is trying to get as much time off the clock as possible.
Exactly.
But these players are enjoying their time in here.
And you get to talk about Southwick, including.
I am in total awe of this guy. I'm not making fun of it
at all. The educational prowess that this guy has and his longevity in professional football needs to be talked about. And I'm just glad that he got on the field tonight.
He's going to throw. Oh, nearly intercepted. Number 7. Brandon Wellington would like to have that one back. As Southwick is trying to explain to Shedrick Bonner here, I was actually throwing it not to him. Here's another look at it. He just, number 7 stepped right in front of the other.
We've talked about the pressure that Washington has been under all night. Southwick right there had to throw that off of his back foot just because Washington was able to get some pressure on that set of downs. And Billings comes away unsuccessful, but the 52-point lead that they're enjoying right now is going to allow them to, kind of learn from those mistakes, and especially those young guys, make sure that, they get coached up come Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whenever they go into the film room.
You think the Wolfpack will run this? They're at the virtual 4-inch line. Looks like another timeout.
Timeout. Billings, their first of the half.
Coach Walker was pretty fired up at something. Oh, we're missing a guy.
So
Here we go.
Didn't want to get called for not enough.
Yeah, needed a D
men on
lineman.
the field.
Laquan Johnson's hopping back on the field.
So the Wolfpack, all they got to do is lean forward here, and they can pretty much score a touchdown. But we'll see what they call. I would think maybe one of their fullbacks might have a chance at this. Maybe Sarnowski.
Or just quarterback
Or
sneak
the
it in there.
quarterback sneak it.
You see just how close the fans are to the action down here. Got some, it's not just Jay that enjoys the music being played here. Folks from all over Billings and the greater Yellowstone area enjoying tonight's game.
Next week, let's talk a little bit about next week. The Outlaws will host the Albany Firebirds in what many believe might be a preview of Arena Bowl 33.
We'll have to see what the outcome of tonight's Predators Firebirds game is. Yep, just a quick quarterback
And there's
sneak.
the touchdown.
And Tease able to get in the end zone with a little help from his friends right there, right up and close to the fans here in Billings. And Washington back on the board again, brings it to 58-12.
Well, that's how many points they scored against Billings the first time, so they've equaled that output. A 1-yard touchdown run by JT Tease.
And Melissa Strother's going to trot onto the field for another. Well, nope, they're going to go for 3. They're just going to go for 2 here. Oh, they are going to try for the trace. Put the ball at the 10, go for 3.
Go for 4. 4
You're
from
right,
the 10.
4.
In the AFL, you can run for 2 from the 2. You can go from the 5 for a 3-yard PAT. Or if you go from the 10, it's a 4-yard or a 4-point after. Let's see what J.R. Wells and company have in store. Here goes Novak in motion. Tease drops back, gets some pressure, throws in the end zone. It's intercepted by Cedric Thomas. He stepped right into that and hauled it in for Billings.
Well, Novak ran out of real estate, and Thomas just kept in pursuit. Makes the interception, denies them the 4-point opportunity. We see Coach Walker walking up the sideboards right there, giving high fives and dapping people up on his way out. Another successful defensive effort, at least on the conversion try right there.
So the point after, they went for the 4-point, and why wouldn't you? But Cedric Thomas was waiting for it, stepped right in front of Novak, and that ball was another turnover for the Billings Outlaws defense that's really come to play. They've given up 12 points tonight, but 6 in each half, that's not bad.
Well, that defense is really, we talked about the number of points they've given up. They haven't hurt that MO at all tonight, only given up 12 to this point. But that defense is one of the real key components of their record, as it looks like they're going to run it to 6-1 here. And very easily, that loss last week is we talk about how they were going to bounce back from it. That was a good game against the good Nashville Cats team. I'll tell you what, Jay, this has the markings of a pretty salty postseason football run for this Billings Outlaws football team.
Absolutely. There's a good shot of Melissa Strother, the female kicker, who's a history maker herself. The first female to play and score points in the AFL in some 3 decades. And her kick goes out of bounds, but might have been out of bounds at the 3-yard line. That was a pretty good kick. Did someone go for a shot there?
The ball bounced on the ground, went over the wall. By rule, the ball would be placed at the 10-yard line. First down, Billings.
Well, that's an effective kickoff then, because there was no return and the ball comes right out to the 10.
So the way that Billings been returning the ball, that's probably better than the alternative
exactly.
tonight. A little disappointed in the fan on the sidelines. They're unable to handle the ball. Got a little air time, and then now he's going to have to explain to his friends why he can't catch.
Clock running, less than 2 minutes to go. And the Outlaws will be turning the page and looking forward. You heard that. We're going to take a break at the 1 minute warning, which is classic. In AFL, they take a break at 1 minute. Here's Hunter Swoboda, breaks the tackle up over the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Adding to his leading yardage. That's a 10-yard gain on first down. Ball's moving. Chains moving.
The other nickname for Hunter, they call him the humble hammer. I think I like the Swiss Army knife better.
Well, he does play. He plays on both sides of the ball, plays on special teams. Very physical player, too. He does a good job for this Billings Outlaws.
He played for Ouachita Baptist College. When he was in high school, he was highly recruited.
Media.
And then broke his leg, both the tibia and the tibia, and that pretty much did it for the rest of his recruiting. But
yeah,
got to hand it to him. He's come back. He's still playing football.
Exactly.
Good for Hunter Swoboda. 1 minute to go. The clock is stopped. 58-12. The Outlaws enjoying this homestand against the visiting Washington Wolfpack. And the fans are going to go home happy tonight as they're handing out some free shirts. All right, they say we're going to take a break, so we'll take a timeout, as you do as well. We'll get you back here for the final minute of this game right after this.
Oh, hey there. Are you drinking out of a regular cup? Why, when you can have a loud cup?
You can be loud and then have a sip.
It's not loud in here, so where's my cup?
Go out loud!
Yes!
Let's go!
Final minute we await here at the TDS Fiber Field in Billings, Metra-Park Arena. The Washington Wolfpack came in hoping to right the ship, but they got more than they could handle from the Billings Outlaws tonight. Daniel Southwick, your quarterback, and he's giving it to Swoboda, and the Outlaws will be content just to run this. Oh, and penalty flags fly again. I was going to talk a little bit about Hunter Swoboda out of Ouachita Baptist, out of Arkansas. You know, suffered a bad injury right in his high school career. He was looking Division I perhaps, because he's got quite a bit of size, 6 foot 190, and he can.
After the play, unsportsmanlike penalty,
physical.
number 50 on Billings. It's 10 yards from the end of the run. Second down.
I watched an interview with him. He said, "I just want to play football." And watching him yesterday in the walkthrough here, he was having more fun than anyone out there.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that, you know, his enthusiasm is contagious. And, you know, it doesn't matter if you're an offensive guy or defensive guy. He plays on both sides of the ball, so why not hang out with that dude? Because he's a glue guy. He's going to make sure that, you know, his effort's unmatched, his passion for the game is obvious. Guys like Hunter Swoboda, you know, they're guys that you want to be around. And so you can tell by the way he plays, takes care of the ball, he knows what's important, and you know, he's a very valuable piece for this Billings Outlaws success story this year.
Dallas Dixon goes in motion. Southwick will just hand it off. And the clock is running less than 30 seconds. Stop now with 28 seconds to go. Let's talk a little bit about next week, Bobby. Albany Firebirds come into town. Definitely the top two teams record-wise in the AFL. And it is perhaps a preview of Arena Bowl 33.
Well, Billings got kicked in the teeth last week. And so they got a little bad taste in their mouth. They righted the ship this week. They played a very complete game. And I think
that was Washington's second timeout of the half.
They're going to have to do much the same next week. You've got a team that's, you know, however many and depending on the outcome of tonight's game. Of course, when we're doing this broadcast, we have no access to how the outcome of that game has gone.
It was close with 4 minutes to go.
And so coming into next week's game, they can turn the page real quick after this one, start focusing on that one. But I imagine that Coach Walker and this team is going to rally the troops and be ready, loaded for bear for the Albany Predators to come into town.
We hope the fans will come
Firebirds, rather. Albany Firebirds.
Loaded for bear as well. Southwick drops straight back. He'd like to complete something, and he does, and finds
Dwayne Brown.
He's been the man of the hour ever since the opening kickoff of this game, where he took it the length of the field, only to have it called back
Washington,
because of
their final timeout of the game.
Holding call. Final timeout called by Washington. Let's not forget about the Salina Liberty and Haran O'Neill we play them one more time at the end of this season before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right now, it looks like Billings and Salina will probably be either the number 2 and number 3 seed, depending how those games turn out.
Yeah,
that's a grudge match between the former coach of the Outlaws, Haran O'Neill,
and the current coach.
So
Haran O'Neill took the Billings to a number of championships. A lot of good football played there. And, down in Salina, he's having some success. Like you said, they're the number 3 seed right now, and the Outlaws here, they're number 2. But, there's still things to play for, and, playoff football is important, but you can't focus on the playoffs until you finish a regular season. So,
and the coaches will take it, just the proverbial cliche, but rings true, one play and one game at a time.
Yeah.
They don't look too far down.
False start. Number 7 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, stays 4th down.
We're seeing a little bit of, I'd say new guys, but Dallas Dixon isn't a new guy.
Coming off of a timeout, it always gets a little bit wonky with the play clock, and it starts with a 40-second clock after the snap, and then you go into the timeout, it gets to a 25, so they just restart the 25 and get going. There's a lot of new guys, a lot of new guys.
Still 20 seconds to go. And there's the pass from Southwick. And it is complete. Again, Dwayne Brown. Man does everything.
Yep. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for the first down, so Washington will get another shot on offense. Oh, we got a penalty here. See what happens.
Clock down to 14 seconds. We mentioned Dwayne Brown leading the team in receiving. He's also the 3rd leading rusher on the team. And he also returns kicks. And
Cut
plays
block.
defense.
17 on the offense. That penalty has been declined. The results of the play is a 1st down Washington.
So the call goes against Hunter Swoboda.
Washington just wants this ball to run a couple of offensive plays.
What a difference a week makes. Last week, the Outlaws were fighting for their lives against the Nashville Cats, only to see the last play of the game go against them, and they lose with 1 second to go. And here today, they are leading by 46 with 14 seconds left. Little different atmosphere here inside the Metra. Here goes Tease, drops back, looking for some help. Finds, I think it was complete, or did it come loose at the
call that
very end?
incomplete.
That was to Vincent Wilkerson.
And Sean Lewis did a good job right there breaking up that pass play. Took a little bit of time to develop.
And it took the whole rest of the time of the game. Let's see, did they stop it for one more play? The clock says 0.
Please put 7 seconds on the clock. 7 seconds.
Not over quite yet. 7 seconds yet to play. Next week, we mentioned the Billings takes on Albany. The Washington Wolfpack will take on the Southwest Kansas Storm. And that'll be a pretty good game. Southwest Kansas is 4-3 entering the play this weekend.
Well, Washington's got a lot of things to figure out. They get another week with Burrell under their belt. And see if they can find a little magic there. But this Billings team gets out of tonight really unscathed injury-wise.
Well, that's an excellent thing, especially after losing one of their star players, Karan Siggins, last weekend. Piasse looking, throws over everything. And
2 seconds left.
2 seconds still on the clock. That'll wake them up down there next to the boards.
Last call was a little bit ago, so probably not as fired up as they once were, but give it a shot here.
Are you fans at home watching this game? Next week will be a great time to come out and support the Billings Outlaws. They're going to have one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team here next week. We'll see who prevails in that, but fair to say the Albany Firebirds have never been here in Billings before.
No, Albany Firebirds, an original arena team. They're a lot of history in multiple leagues, and it'd be great to have that franchise hosted here in Billings.
Piasse, final play of the game, finds it complete. Still going, and into the end zone.
Got him. Touchdown.
Vince Wilkerson, and it's a touchdown on the last play of the game. Kind of deja vu for the Outlaws.
That's the final play of the game.
Got to find a way to keep him out of the end zone on the last play of the game. Those are the type of things that kind of haunt you.
Well, perhaps
no extra point
the Wolfpack,
as we see the officials jogging off the field here. Everybody's dapping them up. So last play of the game, everybody's just kind of trying to figure out what's going on here. But that's it, folks. 58-18. Your Outlaws, your homestanding Outlaws, go to 6-1 on the season.
And then Wolfpack dropped to 1-6. But maybe they can use that last touchdown pass from Tiase to Wilkerson, build on some positives coming out of there, so they can take on Southwest Kansas next weekend and look for another building block in setting up this foundation for this franchise out there in Everett, Washington.
Well, we saw Billings able to overcome last week's stumble, and then conversely with the conversation we had with Coach J.R. Wells prior to the game, the foundation that's being laid there in Washington. There's a lot of work to be done out there, a lot of questions still to be answered. But nonetheless, things worked out tonight here in Billings for the Outlaws, and looking forward to next week, Jay.
Absolutely, Bobby. Thanks for joining us again. We'll see how we can get this bigger crowd to file in here next weekend, as the Outlaws really have showed their flexibility coming back after a heartbreaking loss, establishing some defensive moxie. Right away, one of the first plays of this game, they get a sack for a safety. Kind of set the tone right off the board.
Yeah, a lot of good pieces of this Outlaws team here. Coach Walker's got a lot of tools to work with, and he's putting things together for a nice end of the season run here.
So the fans enjoying a little post-game party with the players, getting to know, and lots of good sportsmanship out there as the visiting Wolfpack came to play tonight. We're going to take a quick break, gather our thoughts before we send you off to next week. But again, the final, you see it there, the Outlaws humbling the Washington Wolfpack 58-18 tonight. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.
Not all replacement windshields are created equal. At Econoglass, we install windshields that are made to a car manufacturer's original specifications. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next windshield installation. Get quality. Get Econoglass. Remodeling your bathroom? Econoglass can transform your home with our Lumax shower doors. Designed for strength and stability and typically installed in 1 day or less. Visit one of our locations to speak with an expert about your next shower doors. Get quality. Get Econoglass.
Oh, not at his age. Absolutely not. We are back in the Metra here in Billings, Montana. That was head coach Cedric Walker sharing some kudos with some of the young fans here in Billings. The final, if you're just joining us, you missed a wild offensive shootout by the Billings Outlaws as they defeat the Washington Wolfpack 58-18. There's quarterback Isaac Harker signing some autographs. He had, to my count, at least 6 touchdown passes in this game. Let's go ahead and roll those highlights, folks.
Lots of them for this Billings team. We see Harker right here. We just saw him signing autographs. This is him on a double move. Hits Arthur Anderson, the 4th, right there for another Billings touchdown. And then Billings right here, you see Mr. Harvey. He doesn't matter if he's on offense or defense. From his linebacker spots, just jumps into the passing lane, grabs the interception, and then hands it off right back to him. Gets in the end zone with great second effort, spins in there for another touchdown tonight. That wasn't going to be his last one, though.
Here's backup quarterback Daniel Southwick.
Jay has to call him, but guess who catches the touchdown and stretches for the end zone? It's Harvey again.
Derek Harvey, that's just awesome. He not only intercepted that pass, and they paid him off with getting a little run. And here is
that Billings defense,
yeah,
getting home at the quarterback, and then Harvey yet again. I mean, there's your player of the game, Jay.
Yeah, no question.
Found the end zone on offense and on defense, made plays on both sides of the ball right there, and then the interception, just very opportunistic for Lewis to be in the right spot at the right time, finds it, and then right here at the end of the game, we had Vincent Wilkerson great second effort on his part too, able to get it in there on another last play of the game touchdown against this Billings Outlaws defense. They don't give up much tonight, but again, another last play of the game touchdown, brings that score just a little bit closer at 58-18.
There's Deshaun Williams, the big tight end for the Wolfpack, talking to Shedrick Bonner, the offensive coordinator for Billings. And there is Siaso Finau. He had a good game too, had a couple of sacks to his credit, and talking to some of the young fans here. It's just been a fun night of arena football here in Billings, Montana, and there the Outlaws chalk up their 6th win of the season. They're 6-1, and they'll host the Albany Firebirds next weekend here in the Big Barn. Washington goes home 1-6, and they'll face Southwest Kansas Storm next week. That'll do it. The Outlaws pick up the victory, move on to next week's game against Albany. Bobby Beers, thanks for joining us tonight. Always a pleasure working with you. And for you fans watching here, Arena Football League does not disappoint. Non-stop action. The final from Billings, the Outlaws 58, the Wolfpack 18. We'll see you next weekend.